go where wonder lies. Its specialist crew a beacon of light will work to unravel secrets entwined. Lore with her care and lust for life, turning the cogs in her curious mind. Scales that tell stories of times long past. Deep in the echo, her interest is cast. Starborne Melody echoes in the deep. An ancient history, now our secrets to keep. Sail on a siren with feathers adorned, seeks to maintain her graceful form. A voice that weaves tales across the sky, relaying the dreams that never die. Rennick the brain with numbers and might, 4 arms, 4 eyes in the cosmic night. Stoic and with numerical grace, in Lockstitch's crew he has found his place. Starborne Melody echoes in the deep. An ancient history, now our secrets to keep. Pollux and Castor, the skillful pair, always the team with starry hair, with a bond so strong in the vast expanse, unveiling the secrets in cosmic dance. Starborne Melody echoes in the deep. An ancient history, now our secrets to keep. Starborne Melody echoes in the deep. An age-old mystery, and Lockstitch holds the key.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 14 of season 4. Today's episode, we are studying magic in the Celestial Sea. Like, how does the magic here work? Do we need to, figure things out about it? Obviously, we're going to want to spend time here. We've been asked by 2 different cities to help them out in at least magically adjacent things. The Ionians want us to find, and they said subdue the alchemists, but they mean kill them. And the folks from Haven, Miss Kino, wants us to figure out a song that reestablishes worldwide travel, instantaneous worldwide travel, and she calls it the Stairway to Heaven, or Stairway to the Heavens. Tonight, we are going to spend the game on the sub for the most part. If you are interested, if you want your character to be on the sub doing this, you definitely can be. They can be doing little things. If one of the players asks for your character to do something and you agree with it, then they will make a roll for you. It won't be Nika making a roll for you. It'll be the player that asked you for your help. And then we can flavor that this way. We're not going to bring people into the call like crazy and stuff like that. But that is... Am I not lighting up anymore? Oh, okay. It stopped lighting up, and now it's lighting up. It's getting weird. But yeah. So, we're on the submarine, and we're studying magic, and I will introduce the players. Hi. So, we have Caustic playing Quet and Goddamn. I have not mispronounced your name in a while. We have Caustic playing Kay.
I'm eating peanut butter.
We got Jacob playing Charity.
Hello.
We got Packaparface / Tootie Booty / Toots McGloots playing Ivo.
Hello.
And we got Sparkly Salad playing Melinoë.
Hello.
Huzzah. Alright, everybody. I took guesses. I have multiple laboratories, don't worry. Like, don't worry about this window. I don't think this window is actually a window. I don't think a window like that works in a sub, but we also have this laboratory if we're looking for something more sci-fi. But how's everybody doing? We're all in the sub. The crew is also in the sub with us. Like everybody like doing the running around. Oh yeah, the captain's room does have windows like that. Like everybody's like running around, like doing studying stuff. Kay, what is your number one interest in studying right now, and how are you doing it?
Well, currently the focus, by my understanding, is figuring out. Well, so are we talking about in the Discord RP or the one for just like today? Because in the Discord okay, so for this, as far as the music, Kay has been probably trying to figure out.
I'm my bad. I'm sorry. I see with a Tangle guy.
Yeah.
We don't have to study music right now, but spoiler alert, Celestial Seas magic is tied to music.
Cool. Okay.
So like how would Kay be studying the Celestial Seas magic, or like what, sorry. Again, I'm interrupting. What is Kay studying? Like in general.
In general, I would have assumed that while in Haven, they probably would have been. I know that they mentioned that they're not very overt with their magic there, but like how much they know about like how the locals know about magic before like trying to figure it, because it's like why figure something out that anyone else already knows, like work from the ground up kind of situation. So figure out what the locals might know and then move from there.
Absolutely. What kind of questions were you asking around town?
First of all, I know that they said something about not being overly overt with their magic, but like what they would use it for in less obvious ways. And also just like any differences, but I know we're kind of stuck with Haven's POV right now, but like any differences between like how they would utilize it versus how any other city over here would utilize it.
Okay. Like we just said, they are not overt with their magic. How do you start that conversation? Like, if you are walking down the street, like who do you ask?
Do they...
Or are you just creepily watching people?
I'm not. First off, do they have like a library here? Because we know Kay is a nerd and would start there if there was one.
Not in the way that that you would, not in the way that Kay would want. Okay. They have the mosaics are all, the entire city is their history, and they have mosaics all over the place.
I mean, if that's the case, would not the mosaic creators be the keepers of the history of some variety? So they might know where to point me to look.
Are you looking for the people who make the mosaics?
Yeah.
I'd like to introduce you to Little Mikey.
Hi, Little Mikey.
He is the most Keynote before him, but he is Miss Keynote's apprentice, and he makes mosaics. What he's just like, he's just. I think Lil Mikey is currently drinking out of what we might consider a Capri Sun, as he's just like walking down the street, like checking on some of his work, like dusting off one of the more recent murals. Like the very, I would say, very, all of his work is incredibly new, and is in like what some might call a new style. Somewhere between graffiti and mosaic work. He uses incredibly small shells instead of like the larger ones that are like more abstract. Well, Mikey goes for like he breaks the shells up and almost paints with them.
Hello there. I couldn't help but notice that you work on these. Your take on these are very interesting. I was wondering how one would interpret it the way that you make these. Like, what am I looking at here?
He turns around, he looks at his this piece of work, and you see this is one that has a there's definitely a stairway, and it appears like he's somehow managed to capture metallic very well, and it looks like a brass stairway just going into the sky, and then at the top of it, that is where it becomes almost abstract. It's like a door, but also a hole. Like he has managed to work in. There was a hole in the wall up there, and he has worked that into the art. It's just like, this is, as I understand it, the stairway to heaven.
Interesting. I'd heard mention of that. What exactly do you think about it?
I think we could be a little bit more abstract. I'm really leaning into the Ionian way of artwork lately. Very surreal. I prefer something that can be more brush. I don't like this lasting. You understand? Like permanent art is so boring. But it's the way I've been trained.
Well, it's an interesting thought, but what happens if it were to disappear? Do y'all not keep track of your history in that way?
They did like the solid mosaics. You've seen them all around. Like we've got the ancient whales, and like he will be walking you down the street and showing you an image of what can only be the giant whales that we met in previous seasons. Absolutely Goliath creatures standing 100 feet tall. One of them receiving the key to a city from a very small fish person.
It's a good thing Kay isn't holding a glass.
It's just like, obviously, we have the past written out, but the past is so boring. You can't change the past. And it's set in its ways. That's boring. I want things to change. Action. Adventure.
Seems to have been a common thread lately.
You don't like adventure? He reaches into his pocket and pulls out a cigarette.
It has its time.
Little Mikey Little Mikey likes to pretend that he smokes. He's like taking a long time trying to get this lit, and then he just can't. So he just puts his lighter back away, but he keeps the cigarette in his mouth.
I feel that adventure and trying new things certainly has its time, but also keeping the past in mind is important as well, because how do you keep yourself from repeating cycles over and over again? I mean, that in its own way is stagnant, is it not?
We need to make new mistakes.
So how do you know it's a new mistake if you've erased it?
If we forget about the old mistakes, all the mistakes are new. You can't repeat what you don't know you did already.
I mean, that is...
He looks into the sky, like, questioning his own logic there for a second.
That is factually untrue. I mean, if you've done it before, just because you've forgotten it doesn't mean it hasn't happened, and others might remember it.
It's just like, yeah, but like, what am I gonna do? Sit home, tell kids like what I did do? That's boring. I want to show them what I'm doing today, and show them what the world's gonna be like tomorrow.
I think that storytelling can be fascinating. You sit around, tell people about your adventures after the fact, don't you? Otherwise, how would anyone know what you've done?
Don't worry. When I start adventuring, you'll know.
Will I? It will have been in the past.
It's like in the moment, you'll feel it. If it's important to you, you'll know. And little Mikey just like goes back and like fixes up some of his work. He's just like, no, this isn't right yet. But we'll get there.
I'm not saying it's not a bad thing to look towards the future, but I think you should keep track of both. Do deal with change, but also have the past there to look back on.
Oh, I see. You're like those Dorians. I'm sorry, I didn't realize you were boring.
I think that if you were sitting here and creating whatever you wanted, then you could build whatever future you wanted as your own type of art, but there can still be people who keep track of the other things.
The Dorians keep track of everything. If you're looking for ancient information, you gotta get an invitation to the Dorian. They love it there. Fucking bunch of nerds. All they do, noses in books, like recalling what it is you did, who did, what did, when they did it, why they did it.
Do they move forward?
Little Mikey is not a child. Little Mikey is definitely like in his 40s.
Yeah. Do they ever move forward, or are they simply trapped in the past?
Honestly, I couldn't tell you. I don't spend a lot of time talking to the Dorians. They don't leave their homes very often. Miss Keynote used to talk about them, but now she's all obsessed with the song. That's all she's been talking about lately. So I've been left to like just take what she says and put it on these walls. And then you see like the mosaic that I told you about before, the stairway with the hole, and then one next to it is like you definitely can tell it's like the celestial sea, and it's bubbling. The water's like bubbling, and it's got some light underneath it, like golden, or not golden, but brass light shining up from below.
What exactly is that? The glow?
It's light.
Do you know the source of it?
He looks at it, he's like, no. It's what appears when you listen to the song.
Interesting.
This is Alan talking to the players and the viewers. I always encourage you, if you want to be more comfortable by being a little inebriated, I support you. Don't get too inebriated, because then the game doesn't go right. But if you need a little something to get yourself in the right mood, go for it. I support this decision. This is Alan.
I'm very sober right now. I'm just this.
Me too. I want to just be clear. Whatever it takes to get you in the mood.
Well, we have been looking into the song. Would you know of any places where we might start for that?
Yeah. Just listen. And like you see him like start swaying in the breeze. Like at first he's standing like kind of still, and then he starts swaying to a beat. If any of you had studied it, you would recognize that the beat that he's swaying to is the same beat that we learned about in the game where Nickel and Nameless and Osiria and Foley like tapped into the music.
Kay doesn't necessarily hear, but they can see it. So follow the sound. Do you know of a direction to start in?
For what?
Has anyone tried to follow it before?
We all follow it. Always. You out-of-towners are weird. Not as weird as the Ionians, though. Miss Keynote really doesn't like the Ionians.
I find that there's all sorts of strange people. One moment. And Kay is going to pull out a piece of chalk and hand it to him. You might want to try this.
He eats it.
Not for consumption. Pulls out another one for drawing.
And he's like, oh, no. He's like, oh, okay. And he like, this seems alright. It's like,
You can do it in different colors, I just don't happen to carry those.
he's just like, if you really want to make some friends around here, can you get us some of that special paint that comes in a can? I see that here that Happenstance and Cullet have it in great supply, but they haven't been trading with us yet due to the pirate problem. But we would very much support some of that canned paint.
I will have to see what I can do.
And he points to the mosaic behind him. And if you're looking for any guidance on that, I recommend going down. And like he starts like flicking the chalk. He takes a cigarette out of his mouth and he puts the piece of chalk in there as though it was a cigarette, and he just starts walking away.
In the city or outside?
There's no water under the haven.
Alright, I guess Kay is going to try and start, I don't know, following the music, and if fails, go back to the lab.
Charity. What has Charity been up to in studying?
So, correct me if I'm wrong, did Haven have like I want to say like plants? They use magic for their plants? Am I misremembering that?
Haven has plants. Are they specifically magical? Not the most.
Oh.
I think he said plant botany. It's like magic at some point, maybe.
Did I?
Yeah. Yeah, see, Shiny's
Yeah.
even saying it.
I'm with it then. I support it.
Yeah, it's like I thought like I heard that. So like Charity's been like studying the way that magic works. Like this has been ongoing, and seeing how magic can be transformed in this world, or at least that they can do it. As in like one type of magic being transferred and becoming something else entirely, like a different type of magic.
Oh, absolutely. Okay, I remember what,
Yeah.
what I said now. All right, here we go.
Yeah.
Let me get back to... That's a good one. I have a lot of maps for Haven.
So, and then also recollecting what happened with when they first came over and the vampire vine and all that. Like they kind of want
absolutely.
to, if there's botany magic, they want to learn a little bit more about that and like see like if there's other ways to like transform and transfer magic. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, absolutely does.
And see if that's how their botany magic works. Like,
okay, let me just get us on this screen real fast. And here we are. So these are like some of you guys, the chambers that you guys have. Like Do you have like fancy hotels? I know it's like the same meeting room, but it's got plants in it, so I'm gonna use it. Charity, go ahead and roll me a 20-sider.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I think the first roll is going to be a coin flip.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, okay.
Anyways.
That one's I think
So
we're gonna
roll-
save the coin flip. I think we're gonna save the coin flip for something bigger.
Okay.
Like I feel like I can just give you
Either
this
way, it's
information. Yeah.
Either way, I failed. So.
So Charity, are you already told me that Charity is not particularly musically inclined.
They know how to dance, but outside of that, it's like.
Okay, so you got rhythm.
Rhythm, yeah.
You can see the like the plants move in a very specific way, almost like the plants are dancing. And like once you realize like the beat of it and stuff, like writing down, like the plants are growing based on, and the ones that have stopped growing are fruiting and blooming along with a beat. And you will see multiple of the fish people like walking down the street whistling, or fish whistling is kind of weird. Maybe, I don't know.
It's the Billy Bass.
You just
Humming?
fucking. But like,
I was gonna say
go
the
ahead.
mouth popping noises.
Yeah.
Oh fuck! All these fish just beatbox. That's it.
Slapping their tail fins on the.
They walk up to all the potted plants and they're like buns and cats and buns and cats and buns and cats. And that is how it happens. But you can see them like a select group do walk through town on a regular basis, and every day they are pruning and they are collecting fruit off of trees, but also like doing their buns and cats to. Is it boots and cats? I always heard of it as buns and cats. I always said buns and cats and buns and cats and buns and cats and shave my weasel. Yeah, what I am referencing is buns and cats. Boots and cats is how is the trick to beatbox. I'm somewhere between both of those actually.
You heard him as.
Shave my weasel. The internet is a magical place, people. And I've been around for a while.
Oh god, there is a weasel in the chat.
That's my husband, actually.
Nice. Did not know that. I threatened to shave your husband. Actually, your husband is not my weasel, so there you go.
Yeah. Good luck getting him to shave. Anyway.
Just learning too much information about people now. Alright. So, yeah, Charity, you understand that they, around here, are not using magic the way that you would do it. And they're not doing magic like through an invocation. And they're not pulling AP out of themselves and putting into plants. They are just...
They're taking what's already there.
Yeah, they are taking the song and putting it into plants. And like, as you guys listen to the music, if any of you around town are feel the music, then your AP recharges. You guys don't have to worry about your AP here. It will always refill over time as long as you are just swaying with the music, as long as you interact with the music in the background. Like, it's... The city doesn't have a backing track until you listen for it, and then you realize the city definitely does have a backing track.
Question: if Charity puts on the goggles, do they see? Is it?
Beautiful!
This...
It's beautiful. Musical notes everywhere, but
same type of magic, or is it like kind of a mix?
it's bright orange the way that any magic from this world is that is based here. But you can see going up and down the streets are like sheet music, and then some of the notes appear and there's like go around the city. Those notes are spirits.
Dang it, Alan, this is how I assumed KC's here.
Okay, so Charity is seen. Okay.
And then sometimes you'll see a music note go into a tree, and then a fruit will appear. And the fruit might not look like a music note, or it might look like a music note if we want to be that cute. If we just want to be adorable, the music and the fruit in the grown in the city can look like music notes.
Whimdark, yeah. Do the notes, like, if they appear as spirits, do they, like, don't appear distressed, or...
Oh, no, they're dancing.
Okay. So this is just, like, part of their natural, like, order.
Yeah, it appears that way, and I'm not, like, the only reason I'm saying appears that way is the same way of, like, we say theory of gravity.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Is there a way to kind of trace or follow the music? I'm gonna say.
Oh, you're looking for a source?
Well, isn't that, like, what the...
Oh, no, absolutely. No, we're fine. Yeah, it makes perfect sense. I think... Oh, we can actually see it from your bedroom here. The music does, with your recon visor, and, like, doing the whole, like, I'm picturing, like, Charity turning one of the lenses to, like, zoom in and stuff.
Yeah.
Way out on the distance, you see, like, that is where the music appears to be coming from. And if you have a map, which you do, we will see you're here in Haven, here.
Oh.
But there are also the closest, like, but there's another one here, 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 and here. Like, each one of those are kind of like speakers for it.
Okay. So Charity is definitely going to document this information and bring it back when we have, like, the big meeting of everybody. Like, in the sub.
Absolutely. All right.
Yeah.
Let's move on to Ivo. What's Ivo been up to lately? Go ahead.
Would it be beneficial to study how their medicine works? If it involves music?
Absolutely. We even know a doctor. Let's go visit Dr. Midnight.
Not related.
Not related.
I was gonna say, if he eats curses,
he's the Midnight
I don't
Doctor, not. He's the Midnight Doctor, not. He's not actually called Dr. Midnight. All right. I actually have to find that cat thing again. Yeah, so how are we looking into... Oh, actually, give me 1 second. Nope, don't type that in. That's a bad... I was like, what did I name that room? The medical room? It's just like, did I name it medical? Of course I didn't name it medical. Why would I ever name anything medical? It's like, I was like, did I name it surgery? It's like, I didn't name that one surgery. I named all the super grimdark ones surgery. Alright. Let me get Ivo on this thing. And let me get... I also have to tell you guys all that having the Ionians greet everybody by greet the crew by burning down a library was one of the funniest things to me.
I literally was typing up, I wonder how long it's going to be before it burns down, and then you set it on fire.
That was all the players in chat before the game started is the reason that we did that. And then I was so happy. Okay, Ivo, you have heard some rumors that there is a very good doctor out here. He sells drugs a lot, and he makes drugs out of the area. He's kind of a black market doctor. He's known as the Midnight Doctor, but has a real name that the crew has discovered. He is Mal Practice.
I love him.
On his wall in his office is a giant poster of a really, really fat cat, and that one's called, and it says underneath it, Big Pharma.
Oh, quick question. Absolutely unrelated. If I reload Roll20, will it mess anything up?
It will not. Nope. You
Okay.
can reload all you want.
Because I don't know what's wrong.
Oh yeah, I reload like 20 times per game, in case anybody's curious.
Okay, there we go.
I have to use a different browser.
It's not Royce soap, it's Royce's disguise.
The Silver Stallion. He's like currently working on a painting of a blue dwarf wearing a cowboy hat and cowboy boots.
That's it.
That's it.
There's spurs on the boots.
Oh, you don't have cowboy boots without spurs. I guess you
Please.
can, but you're cowardly.
The boots
Please
with the
tell-
spurs.
Please tell me there's some either fringe or tassels somewhere.
I think
even
there's
if it's
definitely
just an
tassels on
armband.
the hat.
Just an armband just with tassels and that's it.
Nipple tassels.
Ooh.
Oh no.
All right, Ivo. And he looks up from his painting. He's like, "Oh, sorry, I didn't realize I had an appointment today. What's wrong with you? How can I help you? And do you have money to pay?"
Do I?
Yeah. You guys all have money.
Okay. I guess I just wanted to ask how you do medicine here. Specifically you.
Oh, specifically me. It's just like, oh, I mean, I don't want to give away any of my proprietary secrets, but I have been getting less and less clients since somebody came in here and tortured one of my clients, and they've been spreading bad words about me everywhere. So I suppose we can just have a chat. And he like puts paper down on his table and just on his bed and just sits up on it, like his feet hanging over the ledge. And he's just like, you said you do have payment, correct?
I do.
Excellent. And he puts his hand out. Okay, I see how it is. Information first.
I'll give you half, and then I'll pay in full once I get what I need.
He's like, oh, splendid. And like he grabs, like he takes the half that you give him, and he's just like so excited about it. He's just like, I can eat today. It's like, hear that, Big Pharma? We're on our way back up. And like he leaves real quick, and you definitely hear him, what sounds like him picking up a phone and then ordering a pizza. And he's like, yep. He comes back in the room. He's just like, excellent. Do you like pizza? I just ordered one. You could have a slice. And he sits back down on the table.
Yes.
And he's like, oh, excellent. Oh, so what gets you interested in the medical arts? Are you looking to become a doctor?
I already am one, but I heard that the practices here are different.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. You are a doctor. Excellent. Oh, it's like, me too. I promise. And he like points to the degree on his wall that looks very suspicious.
Ellen, we have a very important question of what kind of pizza do you order when you are here in Haven?
What kind of pizza do you order when you're here in Haven? He is outside of Haven, for the record. We are. I'll show us where we are. Where's my Roll20? There we are. We are near Haven. So, Haven proper, the good doctor lives out here. In what looks like a giant mall complex. Like, almost like like a strip mall. Actually, it's very similar in my head to an abandoned mall that most of the time gets filled with pirates. But a lot of people left because this place isn't safe due to a certain crew showing up and torturing somebody here.
Who could that have been?
It wasn't in the reports. You guys don't know.
Yeah, I know. I think we're allowed to have our suspicions, though.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
We would never.
Like, what does a piece of shit cat doctor order on his pizza? It's like,
Do they have, like, anchovies, or is that people here?
I mean, they have anchovies for sure. Like, well, some version of anchovies, but I suspect that the anchovies are at least the size of a bus.
Listen, it's just the pizza where it's just a topping and the bread, there's no sauce, no cheese, no nothing.
Ugh. That's the worst kind of cat. It literally shows up and it's a deep dish pizza that's all crust, just full of heavy cream.
Oh, God.
And I don't know if I have to explain what the cream in this world looks like for the third day in a row, but I'll do it.
I mean...
Oh boy, I was
Yeah.
not here for this. Please explain.
The sense of milk? Is it?
Are we sure we
It's
don't have, like,
Sentimilk.
fish cream around here or something?
Oh.
If you can tell me if Kay goes out on a mission to figure out how to milk a fish, I will allow milkable fish.
I just got lightheaded and I laughed too hard.
Fish milk is just a completely different animal. But
Would oil
But
come
no,
out?
the cheese from this world is only made because we only have one dairy product. Like, we only have one dairy source, and that's giant, like, very, very, very long centipedes that we milk, and they have, like, a thick milk that is kind of green, and it's when it comes out, it's
Viridescent.
delicious. It's green. Like, Tobias said, green is how we describe it.
Viridescent is green.
Yeah, but Tobias said we use green for it. Like, that's how we describe it.
Damn it, Tobias.
Tobias said we use the word green.
I just had a thought of what could be the fish milk. It
Oh,
could
no.
come. It could come from what are they called? Longhorn cowfish.
Fish teats. Anyway, so, the pizza arrives between Ivo and Mal, and it's just like, he's sharing the pizza. He's just like, okay, well, little colleague conversation here. Where did you go to school? Like, where are you a doctor from? You said medicine works different here. And he takes a big old bite of his pizza, which is, I'm still sticking with the toppings can change, but I still want it to be Chicago style because I want everybody to know that he's a piece of shit.
Is it really? I've never had Chicago style. Is it bad?
It's basically lasagna.
It's a casserole.
Yeah.
It's a pie.
I had the version Pizza Hut tried a few years, like many years ago, like in the 80s.
But does it taste bad?
No, I don't think so. I think honestly it tastes good. Like, probably it's got all the parts that taste good. It's a thick crust. They then, for some reason, put a bunch of cheese in the toppings in the bottom and then cover that with sauce.
Yeah,
and then
we're
put more
getting
cheese on
a
top.
tomato quiche out of the chat.
So like, I think I vote if you want your character to enjoy this, absolutely, it's delicious.
Oh, okay. I don't have reference, so I'll just take
It's
Is it like soggy? Like, what are we talking about?
I see that's my problem. It is soggy. Like you cut it up and you put it on the plate, and then the sauce runs down the side and the cheese. Like you can't pick it up and eat it like pizza. It's a fork and knife affair.
And I bet this cat didn't provide any, right?
I think some probably came with the delivery.
Okay.
Like coral fork and knife, disposable, very biodegradable. And Mal doesn't care though. Mal's digging in with his hands and just trying to juggle it because he hasn't eaten in 2 days. He's just forcing it into his face. And he's like, "Where do you do doctoring?"
I didn't go to school.
Oh, well, fan. And they still let you call yourself a doctor? And he looks at the degree on his wall. Those liars.
I mean, as long as the job worked, I don't see the issue.
Right, see, that's what I was saying. Doesn't matter how people get better, just that they get better. Me and you are kindred spirits. Eats another slice of pizza. Well, to know how medicine's different, I gotta know how you do medicine. How is it that you heal your... and what kind of medicine do you do? Like, do you tend to, like, sickness? Like, do you help kids? Are you pediatrician? Heart surgeon? Or do you deal with, like... Are you, like, an ER doctor?
I guess I would fall under ER doc. And then she kind of like points her finger, like her weird like glowy comes out to show the cat.
Oh, you're one of those magic doctors. It's like they wouldn't let me into the academy of Yoke. I think personally it's because I wasn't a dragon and they're kind of rude about that. But they said it's because of my unscrupulous behavior in the past, which I think it's just unfair. I made a mistake or two when I was a kid.
And what mistake was that?
I developed a bunch of drugs and began selling them for profit.
I mean, did they work?
They worked! That's the craziest thing! But, he pulls out one of his pill bottles. The problem is, whenever somebody takes one of these, they tend to forget that it worked.
Ah. So it's useless.
It's not useless. I made a medicine that makes you forget the last 48 hours. They couldn't find any, medical effects of it, and they said I was using it to take advantage of my clients and robbing them blind. But I needed to build my practice somehow.
See both sides, but regardless, it's not what I'm here for.
Okay. And usually he hops down off of his table. He's like, I'll do a lap for you real fast. I tend to use practical surgery implements to reset bones and such once in a while, because I get my fair share of bullet wounds, broken bones, and many other dangerous situations. I'm not saying that my clientele is in any way like the unscrupulous sort, but there has been a time or two that he looks back and forth. He's like, "You're not a cop, right?"
God.
That's the right answer. And he's just he opens a drawer and he's just pulls out his notebook and he's just I've dealt with some pirates in the past. They all used to come to me. They all knew that the Midnight Doctor would take care of them. Nobody would know that they were here. And then this magnificent group of cops, I have to assume that they were, showed up. And they blinded me with tassels and spurs, and lulled me into a false sense of safety. And then they went downstairs and tortured one of my clients, and now nobody will come back.
Uh-huh.
And it's just like, but I still know, like, I used to be great at it. It's just like, and he shows you his pill bottle, and he's like, this one right here heals any wound completely. Nobody wonders how it's made, and nobody has to be concerned most of the time. But doctor to doctor, you can use these songs from Haven. Like, there's certain songs that'll trick a spirit into an object. Doesn't really matter what it is. Like, all I do is trick them into a little edible pill. These ones are cinnamon flavored.
Interesting.
It takes a good deal of work, especially for the massive healing ones. But you gotta trick, like, they tend to look. He shows you a picture of what looks like. You would recognize it as a phoenix, but it's like it's less concise. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't have any like bone work, abstract, or there's like if you threw paint on a Rorschach test, that's what it is. If you looked at a Rorschach test and you saw a phoenix, it's like that's what this painting looks like. This picture that he has. It's just like, if you see one of these anywhere out there in your travels, it's just like, convince it to get into an object, and then if somebody consumes it, they're fully healed.
Fascinating.
The trick is convincing it.
Quick question. Is it possible to revert someone's form if they've been transformed?
And he's just like, he's like, I haven't. Oh, I did have somebody turned into a frog not too long ago, a couple months back. And he like starts opening drawers. He's like, here we go. And he shows you a picture. He shows you the picture of a spirit that will switch things from what they are now to what they were before. Can you tell me what that spirit looks like?
Let's go with the snake.
Okay, a snake. He's just like, yeah, it's very hard. They don't have them here on the Celestial Sea side of the world, but if you go to a side of the world called Tir Loa, deep in their forests, they have had some of these spirits. You got to be careful. Most of that side spirits have been corrupted.
So that's not a good.
It's not good, but it's the only way that I know how.
I think
you got somebody with a problem? Go ahead.
No, I said I think the playlist ended. It started playing Peaches, and I was very confused.
Oh shit! Oh yeah, you gotta hit repeat on that. Yeah, it does that for me all the time. It just goes straight to like hip hop immediately. Wait, like Peaches, like
From the Mario movie.
Oh no! I was just like,
and I was
there's a different Peaches song that I was thinking.
Peaches, 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 peaches.
I thought you put it in the playlist, and I'm like, okay.
I did not. That would be really funny.
Now I'm gonna imagine a fish person just going peaches, 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 peaches.
It's actually just Mal.
The entire time.
Oh no, I was thinking of the song "The Teaches of Peaches," and if anybody knows the song "The Teaches of Peaches," that's a little out there.
I unfortunately got Peaches Down in Georgia stuck in my head, and I hate that song.
God, just ruined everyone's day.
How many songs have mentioned peaches? Okay, back to the game. Mal is just like, hey, it's like, my business isn't doing great here. You looking for a partner? You looking for not romantically. I'm quite involved with my work. You looking for an assistant?
No.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I can ask one of my colleagues if they would like you, but...
That's okay. I'm sure business will pick back up. I hear the pirates are about to try to make some large scores, and that just means they're gonna get themselves hurt, and that means they need somebody to patch them up. And Mal's good at patching people up. Guaranteed to heal your wounds, or you die.
I mean, technically you closed the wound.
Right? That's all they asked me to do. Like, patch him up, Doc, and I did. I patched him up, and then oh no, he died of sepsis. That's not my fault.
Yeah,
it's
it's best
oh,
you stay
no.
here with them.
Oh, I see. It's okay. It's okay. I'll figure things out. Can I get the rest of the money?
Yeah, here you go.
Thank you. I'm gonna get dessert.
What's dessert?
Tacos.
Like dessert
Garlic
tacos, or
tacos.
just straight? Okay. Just
Oh no,
straight tacos.
garlic tacos.
Just garlic in a taco shell, I assume.
That's what they taste like to me.
Ew. Oh no, I thought about that.
Yeah, it's just roasted garlic in a taco shell. You don't eat raw garlic. That's difficult to eat. Alright, so medicine here, a quick takeaway is the fact that, and also from walking around town, you can see the fact that if you listen to the music, and dance to the music and stuff, most of the time, little wounds like knee scrapes and stuff will be taken care of by morning. People heal faster in Haven as long as everybody's dancing to the music, reacting to the music. You will heal faster. And I think I think Ivo will recognize the fact that that is the same way as AP works. But for major injuries, you need to get it sealed up. But in town, if you stay in town, you're less likely to get an infection, unless of course malpractice leaves something inside of you, which he will,
Like infection.
or his paintbrush.
A moist towelette.
A sponge.
He's called malpractice for a reason.
3 squirrels and a top hat. That one was a really weird night. He was really drunk that night when he was doing surgery. Oh, good news for you, Not Forgiven. I know a doctor that might sign on a Tomb Squad if you wanted him to.
Would
Alright.
he be okay with tricking spirits into your medication?
He used the word tricking, but he also used the word convincing. So, there is... I'm not gonna... we're good. To be fair, is that any different than what you guys do when you use magic?
I don't think we've done enough research to know how we do magic.
Alright. And back... Here we go. Melinoë. What's Melinoë been up to?
So she's been prepping small little, tanks and, little hydroponic stuff, ready to go for, plant samples that they get from the Celestial Sea, and maybe some small little, fauna, whatever they can find. They're more interested to see how the Celestial Sea, affects animals in there. Animals and plants in the Celestial Sea, and then if animals get in contact that have never touched it before in their lives, that's what she's mainly interested in.
Yeah, for sure. Are you wandering around Haven right now doing?
Yeah,
or are you?
I would like her to try to go to find talk to people okay, so where, if you want to get something from a far off land, not from Haven or this part of the world, where would you go? Like an exotics market or something.
Haven is well regarded for trade. There used to be a guy here that would do exactly what you were just asking for, but sadly, we kicked him out of town.
It was the black market.
For one reason or another, we just you keep hearing people like whisper. It's just like, oh, you got to go to Beef's. You got to find Beef. Beef's got everything that you need. And then eventually, you finally track down what Beef's shop is. His name was just Beef.
He had assistants that were peas, carrots, and potatoes.
Find one of his assistants who basically was like, obviously Beef was the face of the operation, but one of the lackeys, if they're still about.
I thought they went with him.
Oh no.
They did, but Phoebe was arrested and then like proven not guilty. So 1 second, I'll get Phoebe out here.
Poor Phoebe. Like, he's a criminal, but he didn't deserve that shit.
Alright, this is gonna be Phoebe.
Okay.
He's beautiful.
He is.
He's just sitting on a box. He's just like, all my friends left. And then like he hears the bell of the shop door as you enter, and he's like, oh, hello, welcome to Phoebe's, formerly Beef. I've got very little. What can I get for you?
Well, possibly information, and then I'd like to peruse whatever stock you have left just to see. So my general question is, have you noticed like anything when you bring any like plants or animals from around the world that have never been in contact with this area? Has anything like happened to them just like by living?
Well, I understand you're concerned about the trade of taking things and bringing things into Haven. As long as it's within the orb of the Dome of Haven, we are perfectly safe. And sadly, once you leave the orb, there's no oxygen out there, and plants tend to need oxygen to survive. Some creatures do too, and they go really just like...
Oh,
okay. And he like opens one of his fins as like an explosion.
Okay. I mean, that's obvious, makes sense, but like, even within the dome, no random changes, no, even if it's like little, like changing colors or something.
He just thinks about it. He's like, well, some things react differently to our atmosphere. Have you seen the sea lice? They are insane. They go from very, very small things and then once you introduce them to the celestial sea, they begin to grow at an absolutely crazy rate.
Okay. Just the
Are
sea
you
lice?
interested in some? I have a pretty good stock of them.
Let me... And it's just calculating, like, how big have they gotten?
Oh, there've been
before the
reports
past?
like I've heard them getting up to roughly the size of well, they can anywhere between small horse and large horse.
Oh, I'll take a couple. Just two is fine. Two is fine.
Oh, I'm sorry, you have to buy them in a bundle. Here you are, though. And he just hands you this ball.
Run.
Okay, I'm gonna put them in like a sealed glass, like, well, not like fully sealed, so they don't suffocate, but like a glass container. Just like, okay. And that's one thing.
I didn't want that on my screen.
Oh, don't worry. Just in case everybody can't see it. Here, I'll make it like a lot bigger for everybody. Here we go.
Okay.
He's like,
Put them in the insect collection jar that I have. Okay.
a couple things about care. They will tend to stay on their balls constantly. You're gonna want to make sure that you have a brass ball. Do you have a brass ball? I'll sell you this brass ball. It's gonna be, and then he like charges you for it.
Okay.
It's just like they will stay on it as long as they have it. if they grow too large for their brass ball, make sure you give them another one because you don't want them in the wild. They'll just go crazy and just start like, well, they're not technically legal in the city, so be careful.
Okay, that makes sense. But
They will not eat brass. They love brass. I think it's the smell. Delightful. I understand it. But if they do not have a brass ball to like make their nests on, they will begin eating any and all metal that they can find.
okay. And then Melinoë goes, note to self, get a sealable glass jar with no metal whatsoever. Okay. But like, let's say like if you brought in like a bird, for example, outside of Haven, and because I know the song affects the plants here. What happen? And you feed them the plants from here. Does anything happen to them, or just business as usual for them?
Generally business as usual. There have been some changes we have seen to flora. He like pulls out a little plant. This one is from Yoke, and like it's just a very pretty not Yoke. It's from the folk song side. It is like a little dandelion floof looking thing. As it begins to grow, it's starting to look more and more like a little person. And the little person is just dancing and just like really getting into it. It's just like they didn't dance when I met them originally, when I brought them here originally, but now they're dancing.
How much is that?
Oh, this is my friend.
Oh, this is your friend? Oh, I'm sorry.
This is my friend.
I'm completely sorry for assuming. I
They're
apologize.
They're not for sale. It's my only friend now. Beef left.
I'm so sorry.
I'm sure he's got a better life somewhere. I was falsely arrested and somebody said that it was my fault that like he left. I don't understand.
If you happen to know anybody who can sell me like little seedlings from around Haven, I'd very much appreciate that.
Oh, I've got some seedlings for you, like from Haven, and like he gives you some plants. He gives you 3 packets of seeds. What are these seeds?
I think one of the seeds should definitely be some like fruiting plant seeds.
Oh, is it the musical note ones?
The musical note ones are because of the song.
Yeah.
What will they grow in if they don't have the song?
Yeah. That I guess something that would be considered like, because I think the only reason they would have them is like for flower shops, like the green plants for filler, one of those, and then random popular flower here in Haven.
Yeah, absolutely. A very popular flower here in Haven is also a flower that is popular in Alkali, which is it looks like a normal like white flower with a bright yellow with a pollen. What is that called, everybody? Does somebody know anything about flowers? The stamen, but like almost like a daisy, you know, with a
Daffodil?
whole thing.
Oh no, like the center part where the pollen is.
Like the eye, like the iris part of a flower. Except for I don't know anything about flowers, people. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're fine.
Apparently, on a daisy flower, it is called the disc.
Ah, yes. Its disc is the same color as turmeric. And it powders immediately. Like, if you move it around, it'll dust everything with an earthy with like a very earthy smell. It's really good, like smelling, and people really like it. And like people around Alkali and in Haven too use it almost as like perfume or cologne, where you just grab a flower and just brush it on yourself.
General flowers, it is a pistol, according to Ez.
Nice.
Yes. Okay. Thank you so much for all your help. I want to take another closer look at the little dancing dandelion. Do I recognize him from our friend in the Jaunt in the Forest by Yoke?
Oh, for sure. It's definitely one of those guys. It's the same as Fluffer was.
Yeah.
Like when this guy grows up, he's gonna be the same.
I look at Phoebe going, I think you're gonna be the perfect friend for this little guy. I met one
I
just like
sure
him.
hope so.
I met one just like him a while ago. We're the greatest friends.
I hope this
Oh,
lasts longer.
I can't wait to spend the rest of my life with this guy.
Oh no.
Oh no. I hope.
Phoebe just staring at the dandelion.
Yeah. I wanted to ask, cause since I'm technically a spirit in a inanimate object, can I like notice the spirits more from the song, or?
I think you more than most would want to dance. Are you a spirit or a ghost?
Is there a distinction? That's the
Yeah.
weird.
There's a very strong
Very
distinction.
I don't think
Ghosts
we've-
used to be people. Spirits used to be.
I used to be-
spirits are spirits.
I'm a ghost, technically.
As a ghost, not as much. Like a little bit. Like you hear the song, but you
And
might
walk
just constantly think that other people are playing music somewhere near you.
Yeah, just a slight bop when I'm walking.
Just doing the robot.
All right, I'm gonna go back to the ship, and I'm gonna tell everyone it's like, these are sea lice. We are gonna put them in a jar where there's no metal, in case. And just puts them in a glass container. It's like, okay. Hopefully nothing bad.
I can't help but worry. If we're worried about that sort of thing, we are also plants and mammals and reptilian beings that are heading out into this ocean.
Yeah. I'm like, how many are on this ball?
Too many.
I think it's more than you could accurately count because they're constantly scurrying around it.
Yeah. I'm like half tempted to squish most of them until I have like maybe 3.
Do you know what happens if you do that?
No!
They might be protective.
I know, that's the issue. Okay, just if anything. Well, fair warning, apparently when these guys get in contact with the Celestial Sea, they get big. I only wanted a couple.
Perhaps also we should bolt it down? Their container down?
I am having flashbacks to a time in which we split our sub in half because of something grew very large very quickly.
Apparently the biggest they get is like a large horse. But
Okay,
still.
but did
But
he
still.
say? Did he say a tiny horse or a large horse? Because
Large horse.
Those are very big.
I know. I only tried to get one. They just need a brass ball, and I have a backup brass ball, and
Remind me, how big are large horses, Alan?
A large horse is about the size of an elephant.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
okay. Listen, as long as they have their brass ball, we should be fine. You know those little like acrylic like little ant farms that you can kind of like connect things to and stuff, so they can have like a functioning colony? I'm gonna put those in like one of those, but it's just glass, and then I have that protected by a big thing of glass that's really strong on top of it going, okay, we're going to slightly test these out while we're out there when we feel brave. If not, I have a new colony pet to study later, I guess. Okay.
I don't suppose it's probably too late to return them, isn't it?
I'm pretty sure I bought them from Phoebe. I just didn't mention returns.
You see one of them put its little thing up against the glass. It's bonded with you.
I don't know how to
You are-
feel about that.
You are their parent.
Listen, as long as I am not their god, it is fine.
That one's Steve.
Yeah. Also, Charity, you won't believe it. I found a descendant of Fluffer.
Oh! But they don't live terribly long.
They don't. Phoebe's gonna be upset when he realizes that he doesn't live very long, but hopefully he'll keep one of the dandelion seedlings.
Hopefully he'll understand when, yes, he explodes.
Yeah, If he keeps the seedlings, we could end up with quite a few of them here. Did you warn him?
He'll be fine. He doesn't have many friends. I think he'll be fine.
Yes, but each of them creates more seedlings. This is potentially an invasive species.
Listen, I study plants. Okay.
I wanted on record this time that I did not cause the ecological disaster.
I wouldn't have either. It slipped my mind. I am not going to lie. It slipped my mind. The music here is kind of distracting. I'm not going to lie.
Say you didn't start an ecological disaster this time, Melinoë, and Kay is just gonna tap the glass for the lice.
And she's gonna go, not yet. I'm gonna put, like, the flower I got in a terrarium. I'm gonna be like, okay, when we're out in the Celestial Sea, remind me to get some of the... It's not really water. I just want to see what happens when you mix water with seedlings, and I'm gonna start planting the little seeds I got for, like, my control and my testing for, like, different, like, water. It's like, I'm just now ignoring Kate. I'm like, I'm not. I'm just...
Alan, please no. Please no, the meme. Not the My Little Pony meme.
I don't know this meme.
No. Oh no! Oh no!
Don't look it up.
No, don't look it up.
Put the fish milk in there.
Fuck!
Now I have to look it up.
I have not
After stream.
seen this meme. I am just aware of it. It's just like
a jar and
it's.
Someone. Nope. I can't. Nope. I
Don't
can't.
do it. Don't, it's,
No,
it's
don't do
bad.
it.
It's
Don't
it's
do
bad.
it. Don't do it.
Okay. So now that we're all together and we have told each other about the sea lice and the possible fluffer situation.
Impossible fluffer invasion.
They just come out with swords. It's like, we're taking over.
The problem is if they did in fact try to invade, as you kill each one, more spawn.
Oh my god, they're the orcs from 40K.
Okay, so we need to keep moving.
I fucking
a hell of a
24 hour lifelong fucking dandelion orcs is a terrifying experience.
the orcs in 40K are technically like fungi, right? Like technically
they're technically fungus. And they reproduce through spores, and when they're having a walk, instead of they having to die to release spores, they just release them naturally.
So about this song.
The notes are spirits. That's all.
Spirits?
That makes sense. It seems like the song was louder than other people were experiencing to me.
Spirits, and they can transform. Like, I watched one go into a tree that then produced a fruit.
Interesting.
It seems to be part of the natural order. But
I was told that we need to look down.
yes, the source, and Charity pulls out the map where they've marked, like, obviously, I'm not going to say we go into the center there. There's one much closer here between Haven and Ione. We might want to save the giant hole in the middle for later.
Sounds like a plan.
Is that where we saw the giant shadow, Alan? Or was that somewhere else?
That was somewhere else. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
That is around where Batman was attacked by pirates, though.
Okay, yeah, so that is... We do have a concern that there are pirates still out and about, and I'm not sure if we've located them yet.
Well, there are a few other places, and Charity points out to them, but of course, with pirates, they can be anywhere, I would assume.
They sure can.
We could use some of the plants that I had gotten as like an indication when we're getting close to a source of the song, since they tend to affect them. So if they become more fervent and, you know, more alive, so to speak, as they're growing, that could be a good indication when we're getting close to either a source, or it seems like these points, other than the middle, amplify it out to further out.
And then the plants will begin to dance more, I would assume.
That or produce more fruit, or produce more flowers, or stalks, whatever they decide to do. It could be a combination of the things.
I had also been thinking that we could try and use some sort of audio recording device.
Maybe two, one for above the sea and one for below it?
Out of character. Hydrophones exist, technically, at this time period. I don't know if we, the crew, have that technology, but it was invented in, like, 1914.
I don't think anybody has said those words out loud for us to have made them.
Alright, so,
Maybe pester one of our engineers?
we could pester, who do we have? In the chat. Anybody? Anybody?
Any tinkerers in the chat?
Ro is here. And funny enough, they actually use, friggin' ceramics on those, but, Ro is here. We got a squirrel, we got Rennick.
I personally think
money toast.
Nico is like piloting the submarine right now.
Akana does do black.
Or Akana's piloting it. One of those two. I actually always think of whenever Akana's in the sub, she's just got an arm out it with a gun.
She's doing that thing where you like lean in the window and like one hand is like on the wheel and the other hand is out the window. So, do we want people to work on the audio recording right now and like RP that, or?
Oh no, they can literally just roll. If they agree that to make this item, then we can just roll and just see how well it went, and then they can RP how they built it or what it looks like. Let us know what it looks like.
Okay, so we've got potentially 4 people working on this. I didn't see if Ro responded, but I just knew he was actually in the engineering area.
I would give any Seam Guard or Luminary Engineer for this specifically. I would give them I would give you 2d20 if you're using one of them to do this. If non-engineers, I think I'm gonna let anybody like make that roll, but like a Mystician or a Wayweaver engineer, I'll give 1d20. I think this is the Luminary or Seam Guard like neck of the woods. Also, because it is like we're looking to do things with sound, anybody that would be considered from the communications section of Seam Guard would also give you 2d20 for it. Like your Patagons, your Pollux and Casters.
So
Your
raise your hand
Ceylon.
if y'all want us to roll for you, I guess.
Yeah,
Let's
then just
decide your fate.
Right? It's like a
We
one
saw
just
the
tells
coin
us it's
flip.
not working, right?
Oh, we do have a coin flip.
This is the coin flip. Fuck. Okay.
Oh shit, you're right. So who wants to flip the coin? Is it me?
Yeah. Who? Akana wants to flip it.
Alright, am I flipping it, or is it someone?
Oh yeah. Oh, definitely, it's you. It's all you. Roll me 1d, 1d2. 1 is 1, 2 is 20.
Did it? It's a 1.
1.
Yes!
Okay. So, because it's a 1,
We're doing so good, guys.
because it's a 1, I think it does the reverse. Could have bet on that. Like, Akana's like suddenly realizing that it was a...
cursed. Akana is cursed. We should have known.
It's like, we get it installed. Like, what's it look like, Akana? This is to listen. Yeah, it's a speaker rather than a recorder. Like, it is literally just gonna kind of like announce you guys to the Celestial Sea as you're going through. But because it's a 1, it's also working as a recorder. So you don't realize.
Hey, Alan, you said you wanted us to encounter those pirates.
Yep.
I do want you guys to encounter pirates. But because that is part of the like the role play that's going on
That's
in
fair.
the Discord, I wasn't gonna like. There's a lot of other things in this water for you guys to run into. Trust me.
Oh, fun.
In fact, here we go. Let's just kind of move us to this one.
Oh, that's so pretty, though.
Ooh.
I'm sure nothing will be going wrong here.
What's it like when you all hear the bassiest like whale song you've ever heard in your lives
Oh, but he's so pretty.
as it shakes the sub to the point of just like things are falling off? Melinoë.
Melinoë, did you bolt
Melinoë.
it
I bolted
Melinoë.
them down. They are bolted down. I made
Things are
sure
falling
of
off.
that.
Oh, that's great. That jar starts cracking.
down?
Oh, that is why that jar is inside of another glass container
It's
that is
fair.
stronger.
You did the work to tell me that you put it really away. I'm not gonna do. I'm not gonna...
I was gonna say, like, for the song, I felt like, for Melinoë, it'd be like, the only way I can describe it is more of an out-of-body experience, even though she doesn't quite have a body.
If it continues to be making noise, Kay is going to have a very hard time seeing what's going on because it's so loud that it's basically like bold text over everything else.
So, everybody on the ship, all 4 of you, and everybody in the chat that's on the ship are feeling a ridiculous vibration, and then you feel something press up against the ship, and that something is much, much bigger than the ship.
Are we sending out like a mating call? Or
I think you're sending out a mating call, or if not a mating call, a like, hey, I want to hang out call.
Kay is going to fumble for their communicator, be like, whoever is driving, can you see what is going on?
How are Ivo and Charity reacting to this incredibly loud noise?
that was my question. Like, if it's spirits, I mean, is it like?
Oh, this is just a whale. It is a
Okay.
celestial whale. I think spirits. Oh, you know what? Charity, Charity, you go and look out the window at it. You can see it. It's right there. It's huge. But you also, with your recon visor on, because you got the recon visor, like you can see, eddies and like a not a flock. That's not what they call it. A school of spirits following behind this whale, very much like you would see the ones that pick them clean, that like suction to real whales.
Grimoires.
Yeah, you see just hundreds of them all around this giant creature.
So cool.
Yeah, Charity is momentarily taken aback by the sight, but it's also maybe starting to get a little bit of a headache and feel a little bit discombobulated because I'm picturing like the. You ever seen the videos of the people who have their base up and it's like.
Oh, and everybody's hair goes up?
Yeah. That's kind of what I'm picturing is like happening a little bit. Well, we can't hear what our little recorder is doing, can we?
You cannot. Also, you know what? I think all of you guys as communicators, like your crystal communicators, are vibrating ridiculously right now. Like, you feel them on your chest. Like, you guys know those old things that you used to, like, hold and they would pretend that they were electrocuting you, but what they were really doing was just, like, gyroscopes really hard? That's happening with everybody wearing a communicator. It kind of hurts to have the communicator touching you right now because it's resonating with this. It feels like you're getting punched in your chest over and over again.
I think that answers Nichols' question.
How does Ivo like the loud noise, though?
She's trying to cover her ears.
Nice.
They're sensitive.
Like, and Charity is communicating to Nichols, like, I know what happens to the rest of you if you lose your communicator, so I'd say it closer to 11. Maybe it goes up to 11.
Can I look out the window that Charity was looking out of and try to take a look at the whale to see if, like, because other than like the spirits like hanging around that they saw with the reconnaissance goggles, is there like actual? Because you know, like the idea of the plant of animals so big that they have environments on their backs. If the whale has something like that on it.
And while Melinoë's through that, I had a kind of an idea. Like, can Charity sense the magic through the communicator, like they've done before? But like, can they use it to kind of like trace it back and maybe see what this whale is trying to communicate with?
Yeah, absolutely. Melinoë, give me a roll first, and then Charity, you give me a roll right after that.
Also, Rennick is asking if this is affecting the people not on the ship as well.
I think if anybody tries to like communicate with anybody else, like on one of those like open frequencies, the people in outside of this area will feel like they suddenly got punched in the chest with no fucking context. Oh, yeah, there you go. Nice. 18, absolutely sparkly. And yeah, and a 14 for Melinoë. Oh, sorry, I said called one sparkly.
You're fine.
Melinoë did great, and Charity did great. All right. Melinoë, outside of it, you can see. You tell me what little. This thing is so big, and it does not appear to be. And this might be how it snuck up on you guys. It does not appear to be causing wake as it like swims. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's not moving the water. It's gliding through it. The only thing you're feeling is its call and it bumping into you. But yeah, you see a couple creatures scurrying around its back. What's going on back there?
I'm kind of imagining if you've ever seen like the reef backs from Subnautica, where they have like corals and plants growing on their backs because they're so big, like small patches of that on the whale, and Melinoë's just thinking, it's like, I wonder if it's a good enough idea to risk it to try to go grab a few samples.
I think this is exactly what's going on right here. And Charity, what were you looking for right there?
Like tracing back, like what's causing the communicators to go.
Oh, like you can tell, like researching it, like looking at it, and like figuring it out through the communicators. With your 14, it's not. You can't translate it 1-to-1. That's not what this is. But it is a distress call from it. And then Melinoë, you see what look like little lippy crabs. And by little, I mean little compared to it.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
But like grabbed onto it and are attempting to like be parasitic to it. Like it's coming to ask the sub to get them off. like a little bit of barnacle removing.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'm gonna take my glaive and just go, I'm just gonna go get some samples while helping out this whale.
Right, it wants us to... It wants us to help it. It's a distress signal.
And I point to the lippy crabs. I'm pretty sure I can see what's distressing it.
Is there any way we can get it to be quiet?
And is there a way for Charity, like... Gosh, Charity, like I said, doesn't really do music, but they do magic. Can they try to communicate with the whale, like using the stream coming through the communicator?
Oh shit, it's Crabbard's time.
Yep. Somebody roll me a 20-sided for Crabbit. Crabbit's just leaving immediately.
I'll do it.
Oh, he's dead.
Oh, fuck.
Oh.
Oh. Oh.
Look at that tiny Crabbit.
Oh, no!
It's just, what, like, Crabbit, like, fucking does basically Cloud Strife's Braver. Like, sinking down at it, and then, like, one of the lippy crabs just looks up and just goes, and, like, shoots out, like, a prehensile spiked tongue, and just wraps around Crabbit, and pulls it back in, and you just see Crabbit go...
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, exactly that. Actually, that's a car alarm going off in the background. Somehow Crabbit has upgraded. All right, guys. Charity, you might not have the magic for it, but you can call upon. You do have some magic that'll help, but you can call on somebody in the chat. Pollux and Castor are really good with the communications, and so is Patagon. So if you want to ask one of them for help with it, and you'll get 2 d20s.
Trying to use, using the communicator, Charity puts it out there. I need someone who can use the song to communicate back to the well. Add Max, it's all over the place tonight, sorry. As Pollux and Castor, I think, in the chat. Right there saying that they'll assist.
That's Vala, yeah.
So roll 2d20.
2d20.
Woo! 13 and 20, let's go.
Woo!
That 20 though, that fuck, hell yeah. Great job. So yeah, what Pollux and Castor, you figure out exactly what resonance this is. So you guys can Charity? What do you want to say back to this whale? And this doesn't mean we get to talk to it forever. We can just basically give it like quick. We're gonna, whatever you want.
Like we're gonna, like, we'll help, and then but you have to stop sending the, like, finding the right thread of magic or what resonance that Pollux and Castor can. And like you have to stop this though, otherwise. Just a quick, we'll help, but you have to stop sending this out.
Absolutely, okay. Looks like you're hurting us, but we're gonna help.
Yeah.
Yeah. The natural 20, it calms down immediately, almost like you use the spell relief. Do you have the spell relief? I know it's a doctor.
Yes, I have relieve, yes.
Relieve. Yeah, exactly that happens to this guy. They calm down, they swim close to the sub, but they don't like bang up against it anymore. We can actually put the legs of the sub right down on it, and you guys can get out and help out.
Kick some crab.
All 4 of you suiting up is very fun to me.
Well, I don't have to suit up at all. I'm just gonna okay, I'm just gonna hop outside.
Does this water carry electricity?
This is... it's not exactly water, but
That's why
it
I'm
feels
asking.
enough like water that you might worry.
Because I just always am slightly electric, so...
That's why you gotta put the suit on.
I mean, my magic is also all... Even if it's not electric, it's vaguely electric. So this is... okay, we got this. We got this, guys.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just assumed that everybody was gonna like go out and help out. Do you guys want to stay in the ship, or are we helping out?
I mean, I don't know what I could do.
You guys got like harpoon guns and stuff,
Yeah.
and your other weapons.
Uh...
Or as a doctor, you can just heal the wounds on the back of this giant whale. Like you can start seeing like where the lippy crabs have been trying to dig into it. This thing is very hard apparently, but they're basically trying to mine through it with their pincers, and they're repeatedly just stabbing in, and like there is some blood coming through, and the blood looks like the darkest night sky that you've ever seen. It looks like the Milky Way galaxy going by. The blood of this creature.
Oh, that's so pretty. It's
Oh,
horrifying, but it's very pretty.
If you could collect that while we're taking care of the lippy crabs, that'd be amazing.
Oh dear. Okay.
Just...
Whoever's trying to heal them, they can take
That
samples.
would be
I guess I
Charity
need
now.
some jars.
Charity brought. When I say whenever Charity brings supplies now, like a couple of flowers with him, and you'll see Charity getting these flowers like. Well, obviously, I don't think you could be able to hold them like out in the open, but like from their container, you'll watch Charity bring them out the flowers, and you'll watch them start to wilt and die, and then out their other hand, Charity is aiming towards the wounds and doing their best to heal. It's basically reversing the effects of the cuts. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Which
is this Ivo and Charity are on on like heal and collect?
Yeah.
Okay, and then Melinoë and Kay. It looks like it's up to you two to do the fighting part of this. Also, remember the sub is right there. You guys can ask the sub to fight for you, but that's still going to be your roles.
I need to get samples from the lippy crabs.
I think we have had samples of the lippy crabs.
From these specifically on the space whale? Sorry, my curiosity is getting the better of me.
That's fair. They have been eating a space whale. Okay, trying to think. Are we trying to kill these or just scare them away?
I say we can try to scare them away. And then if they don't give up, then kill them. And as I say that, I kind of put a hand on Kay and I cast Calcify to give them more resistance to damage. Like, and here you go.
All around Kay's suit, it's like growing coral and thick, like doesn't hinder your movement, Kay, but you do notice like sharp coral like growing out of your suit as the Calcify takes over.
Oh lord.
It's fine. It's fine. It's to help you.
Well, the question is, you know what? We're gonna try. You know how many times I have attempted sigil and it has gone badly?
What's one more?
What's one more? We're gonna attempt.
Are you gonna graffiti the whale?
I have chalk. Probably would have some variety of like a waxy something too for underwater.
I like those bath chalk toys that they have nowadays from Crayola.
Yeah. So I guess I'm going to attempt to cast a repel sigil for these Libby crabs, and it maybe will not backfire on me.
Alright, let's see that roll. Let's graffiti this whale.
Oh.
Absolutely, you do see the one starts like backing off. How does the repel work? How's the distance that they go?
Let me get it pulled up again. Hold on. So it is creatures won't come. Creatures who come nearby won't move closer to the sigil or may turn back.
Okay, yeah.
I'm trying
So
to get them to leave. Honestly, in hopes that we can then get the whale to leave, and then we can fight them without risking injuring the whale.
Libby crabs don't swim, so they're gonna sink if they get off this whale. But I think one of them does exactly that, just gets right up off of it, and another one just goes further down its back. Like, so you got you've made Tootie and you've made Ivo and Charity's job much easier because they now can see the wounds along its back and that they can take care of. This one just keeps dropping and dropping and dropping and dropping and dropping.
And we have no idea how far the bottom is. Awesome.
Pollux and Castor, I believe it's Castor with his headphone, is the one that has the headphones on. It just like hears what can only be described as a gong.
What?
Uh-oh.
Huh?
Oh.
Do they communicate that back to us?
We talking like it hit something gong?
Like a gong. Like there wasn't a gong, and then suddenly, gong.
Well, that's concerning.
All right, Charity. You will. That was for the research thing, and no, that was for communicating with it.
Yes.
Can Charity and Ivo both? I know Charity's using flowers to heal. How's Ivo healing this guy up? And
I
say,
guess I'm sewing it up.
Just sewing it up? Absolutely. Ooh, you use silver needles, right? Okay. Both of you two roll me 2d20 because I feel like this is not just. You guys are perfectly equipped, and also, this is your jobs.
Ooh, okay.
Charity killed it with an 18 and a 12. Not killed the whale. The whale's fine. Charity's like,
That would be
fuck
a
this
one.
whale. Pulls out a gun.
One. Charity's magic would have swapped over to.
Wait, what?
Can I get? Yeah, there you go. All right, yeah, 16 does it as well. So you two like get right to work, and it feels just so easy with the whale being as calm as it is. And like you guys just being practiced. There's a game that I kind of wish we had played for this one now, like called Monster Care Squad. That now I think we need to.
That one. I was a part of that one.
It's like, I didn't think we were going to be doing Monster Care Squad today, but that is basically how this is going. Like you guys are just doing a just amazing job, and like the Ivo and Charity, you are learning a lot about this thing's biology as it's happening. Its blood is beautiful, but you know, gross because blood, but beautiful, and it does appear like the night sky, like the Milky Way in a dark night sky.
Charity's got like little vials and just.
And yeah, Ivo, you have to cut away some of the skin that like is wrong. It's just bad. It's been chewed on by the lippies. It's not good. So you're able to like take samples of that if you want.
I will.
But also surrounding both of you two are those spirits, those Remobras, like spirits like circling around you, and they are helping you clean this, and they are changing shape from like looking like some of them look like manta rays and some of them look like just the longer fish, and they are becoming almost liquid, and they start packing themselves around the cuts. Like these spirits have become spirits of healing as like by following along with what you were doing. Like
So
you are
they're
resonating.
reacting to
Mhm.
our magic.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, they as you use your AP, they are becoming what your AP wants them to do, what wants it to happen. So you are sealing these up, and by the time like you pull back from it, it feels like you can barely see a scar. Ivo, you can see your stitches so lightly that like this thing will be perfectly healed in a day or two. This thing will be great, and the stitches will fall out without you don't have to worry about that.
These are spirits, right?
The spirits like helped you out for sure, and like I think both of you, one of the spirits goes into like it refills your AP, and you feel like you have an aura of like gratitude, like you can feel the whale rumbling, just so that inside the spirit is translating to you basically thank you.
Charity is kind of overtaken by emotion, and if anybody looks over, they'll see that they're actively crying right now.
Just what this whale would die for.
Ivo, for once, has like a little smile, and she's like caressing the whale, like comforting.
Nice.
Yeah.
What are we
Charity.
doing about this other lippy? Oh, sorry, go ahead. I don't want to.
Oh no, I was gonna say Charity kneels down and just also kind of like they put their flowers away and their samples away and just kind of puts both their hands on the whale for just a little moment to kind of feel like, I don't know, you wouldn't really feel it kind of breathe, would you? But like just feel
Maybe.
or like feel like a pulse or something, I guess.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, it has a pulse for sure, and it beats.
Like the music or like the song?
You know, yeah, absolutely. Let's do it that. Its heartbeat is to the beat. You feel more connected, and like you hear like one of those whale song situations. I don't think that I've made the right whale for that, but
yeah,
it does this in such a way that it doesn't hurt you. It doesn't hurt any of you. You're all like perfectly good about it, and it's just like the other lippy is trying to is running, is scuttling down its back, getting away from the getting away from the rappel thing. I think the last one just hops over the back, just so we don't have to spend 1,000,000 years on this guy.
We should probably be concerned that there's a lippy infestation here.
They're not native to the sea. Is it a different species, do you think?
I forget, how do lippies reproduce? Or is that not known?
Do we know?
There's a legitimate reason why I'm asking.
There is lore behind this.
Don't we have reason to know that things are traveling weird right now, though, across the oceans?
Because the hurricane went away, things are traveling much further than they would have.
So, might be the case here.
It's definitely a good educated guess. Is like, oh, they saw the fact that they can, but also the Second Sea is getting worse.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a very, I think, yeah, that'll work. Ivo, on the claw thing that you cleaned up, it had like almost in the skin and the jar that you have is like polluted, corrupted. Like the lippies were covered in some kind of weird oil type situation, and that was how they were able to break through this thing's skin in the first place. Is it like corrupted itself?
Really wish I hadn't accidentally started erasing that one giant spell.
We need to figure out what this is, like, now.
Can you get samples of the goop?
I believe I have the goop.
Yeah, you
already.
she has the goop in the jar with the skin.
I wanted to ask, well, one thing, I guess while we're headed back to the sub walking, just keep an eye out for anything that looks like eggs or crab. And then I wanted to know, like, since I can kind of hear the spirits a little bit louder, because even though I'm not a spirit, I'm a ghost. What is the consequence of me being outside in the celestial sea in the direct, like, basically in the source of this? Like, is there anything weird happening?
I don't think anything immediately weird happens. Gravity is real weird out here. It is like you're underwater, but while you're on the whale, it's almost like you're magnetized to it. Like the whale has his own gravity.
Okay. But no funky business since Ghost.
Yeah, no real worry about that. If you don't roll bad. Like if you roll bad, maybe.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. Okay.
But
Just don't roll bad.
Okay. Well, on the way back to the sub, I'm gonna just cursory glance to make sure the lippies didn't leave anything else behind, like eggs or something.
Yeah, I was gonna tell you real quick. The way that lippies reproduce, is by biting other things and turning them into lippies.
Ah, okay.
Oh.
Oh boy.
So
And it doesn't
it's a
matter what the
good
size,
thing
doesn't
we
matter what the
fixed this.
species.
Yeah. Oh, literal
If you get
werewolves. Got it.
If you get infected by a lippy, you become a lippy. Ask
This-
Akana.
If this whale had turned into a lippy,
Oh boy.
Akana's eyes still once in a while go bright red because she was bit by a lippy in season 1.
so
It's rough. So yeah,
I guess we go back in, and how do we thank or tell them that it's safe now?
the whale immediately knows and starts swimming around you, again, you guys even in the ship do not feel the wake move around, but you do see it swim in front of you to try to get you guys' attention, and then immediately dive straight down towards this light.
I think we need to follow them.
I think so too.
I'm
We
for
were
it.
told to go down. So, everyone back in the ship, let's go.
Yeah.
Yep. As we're going down, I'm categorizing everything that we got from the whale. I'm like, okay, separate this into this, and checking on the sea lice just to make sure nothing weird is happening to them.
And Charity's gathering the stuff to take back to the lab.
Hey,
And-
remember how the sea lice really was it copper or brass?
Brass.
Oh.
This was a bad idea. This was a bad idea. Good thing I double sealed them. Oh lord.
So at the bottom, not at the bottom, but as you dive down, you can't see the floor, but you see what to you can only be described as a road, and it is huge. And on this brass road is Nika. Can you move the map a little? There we go. Can only be described as a giant metal globe of some kind. And the communications, everybody, you are starting to pick up on there is music coming from this, but it sounds based on its size, it's very muffled. Also, the Lippy crashed into this road down here.
Is it still alive?
It's stunned. It's not enjoying itself.
Probably need to deal with it. So,
Second.
Sub-harpoon?
Someone on the ship's gotta be, like...
so I guess we need to split our focus between A, figuring out what's going on with the music frequency and stuff around here, B, deal with this lippy crap.
I was gonna ask, you said it was, like, kind of muted, like, do we get the sense that it's not supposed to be kind of muffled?
You get the sense that you should, like, based on how the music is in this world and stuff, you do get a sense that, like, this should be louder. This should be more. Like, also, like, as you are nearing it, there's a doorway down here. I'm clicking on the stream. There's a doorway down here. That, and it is...
Seeing you clicking anywhere.
Yeah, I'm not
oh.
seeing it either.
Oh, I'm on GM layer. My bad. There we go.
Oh,
Can
okay.
you see? Okay, it's down here, and it is slightly ajar. Not like wide open, but you can see that things are it's being leaked into.
Interesting.
Well, that seems to be a source of a problem.
Can we ask the crew to shoot at the lippy crab while we look at this?
For sure. Like, you want the crew to like play fucking like. We want to go in. Can you get this lippy crab out of here?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
The whale gives you guys all one more like resonant like thank you, and swims itself off. We will see them again. Don't worry. Maybe
I
not
hope
today.
so.
Nicest whale we've met.
It's true.
All right, yeah. So the crew is just going to be firing on this thing. Like on the lippy crab to get the lippy crab's attention while you all just jump out and get into the ship and get into
Yeah.
the sphere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That sounds
There
like
to
a
be
plan.
there to be the distraction.
All right, crew. Distract.
If the crew is really good at one thing, it's distracting.
Yeah, okay. You guys don't have to roll for the crew in this one. What is the plan? Like, you guys let me know what your plan is, and we will make rolls for it. Well, like, you guys just basically jump out in your suits or not suits into the building, just because we are running lower on time than I thought I was going to when we got to this point. So,
Yeah, sorry.
no, it's good. It all went really great. I really loved it. We want to get to seeing some cool stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So this is once you guys get in the doors.
Oh.
Oh, there's sea lice.
What? You guys don't like them? Look at them.
Okay, but that one's kind of cute.
Yeah.
They're about the size of, I would say, hippopotamuses. They're just a little
Oh,
bit further
God.
away from you than right now.
Oh.
Well, that
That's
means you can see all
unfortunate.
like the detail.
They look like fuzzy shrimp with too many legs.
Yeah, that's exactly what they are. They're fuzzy shrimp with too many legs.
Small horse. Do they each have their own little brass ball? they're
They
just
each
hanging
have their
out
own
on?
little brass ball, and they're like doing the thing where they're balancing on it, like rolling around.
Okay, that's kind of cute.
Is there water like actively flooding in here, or is it like
There is some actively flooding in here, but like you had to like when you came in the doors, you had to go up some stairs, and it seems like it evened out. You know.
Okay.
Like, it definitely wasn't supposed to have water in here, but there is water in here.
It seems we have an infestation on our hands. Looks at Melinoë.
Not my fault. Mine are completely safe. Back at the sub, complete double sealed. When we get back, they will be triple sealed.
Charity's kind of, I guess, like looking over at the mechanism, like over here. Or, I don't know if you see where I'm pointing. There you go.
Oh yeah, I see it.
Like walking up and just kind of like looking at them. Like, does it look like
They appear to be large constructs, and each one of them has the remnants of ancient musical instruments in front of them. And by ancient, I just mean they're really old, but they are recognizable to us. Like drums. Maybe that one had like a keyboard in front of it. Like that one definitely had some kind of harp. Like, yeah, just giant. And like you can see gear work in them.
is anything like moving at all right now? In terms of like
The
the
sea
gears? Well, yeah. But like none of the gears are turning or anything.
No, they all look very corroded at this point.
Recently corroded, or like, I mean, I understand it's old, but like, was it functional until recently, or can we tell that?
Roll me. Roll me a 20-sider.
And do we know that the lice are like actively harming?
You do not
What's here?
see a lot of bite marks on it. You do see many of these things at one point in time did have brass ball like as part of their constructs, but those balls are being used as little like roly-polies.
Okay.
With a 9, you have a tough choice. Would you like to know? There are two things you can learn, and one of them is, would you like a clue on their origin, or would you like a clue on how long they've been degrading?
I mean, we need to know how long it's been that this has been broken, probably, if we need to fix it. So, the second one.
Hundreds of years. This has been breaking for quite a while. The corrosion doesn't look like it's been getting any worse as of late. But it does. Something happened a couple hundred years ago, I would say. This thing is like millennia old, though.
Alright.
I'm going to tell them that.
Now, is this the only room here, or is there like another room like further down the hall?
There's a door further down the hall for sure.
Did we ever find out if the little fleas are like aggressive?
They don't
They're
really
on
appear
their
to be right
balls.
now. They're just rolling around like.
They're just vibing.
With the visor on, does Charity see anything like does all the magic just look as it should, or do they pick up anything abnormal?
With the roll me a 20-sider. I'm gonna give you some information because you have the visor, regardless of what you roll. But you might get more information.
Oh no!
Two's a little rough.
No.
Okay. None of them have a hurdy-gurdy, but that's mostly because I hate hurdy-gurdies with a passion that nobody will ever fully understand. They do not sound really cool. I hate them so much.
And it's a 1 now.
Thanks.
Well, the one you guys feel the outside of this whole thing get slammed into by the crab and by the lippy crab outside. They are doing a terrible job keeping the lippy crab distracted. The lippy crab wants nothing more than to punish the four that took away its delicious meal. The water begins to rise in here as the lippy crab, ignoring the bombardment that is happening outside, it is trying to force open those doors. What you do see,
okay,
Charity, what you do get, even for the one, because I said I was going to give you stuff regardless. You see some of that. It means free attacks, but you also start to realize your attacks aren't doing anything. Oh, that was for the chat. You see in the water there is some of that oil like slipping through here.
Shit.
Like very, very slightly coating the top of the water. And it is both incredibly magical, but also there's something to it. There's like a bit of... Oh, Charity, you are the perfect person to know this. There's a bit of corruption to this. That magic that is on top of that. Like, it is magic gone wrong. Magic influenced by something else. Also,
Like
I have
another-
one of... Oh, go ahead.
Does it look familiar to me, seeing as I saw the Sick and See?
You can tell immediately. Like, if you guys can put those pieces together,
Yeah.
for sure.
So,
I don't
like,
have to. Like, you guys don't have to.
Would
keep
Charity
it in
recognize it as like not being of this world? Like it came from an outside source?
It is. I don't think it's from another world, but I do think it is an outside source type thing. Like
Okay.
at some point, this is a spell, like, but being here does not appear to be deliberate. However, one of these sea lice comes up to you as it's like trying to stay on its ball as the water is rising, but the ball keeps spinning too fast for it.
Can
It's
I
roughly
try
the size of a Great Dane.
a Great Dane?
Yep.
Can I? You said the balls look like they fit in somewhere, right?
Oh yeah. Each of the statues has a place where they would have held the ball.
We don't want these to get any more wet.
No.
Mm.
There's corrupted magic flowing through here, but if we don't take care of that crab outside, there's nothing that we can do in here.
We'd have to tell the sub to stop, but I could try to put it to sleep permanently, where it won't be able to wake up, and then we can figure out how to deal with it after we fix this place.
As could I. If it has a heart, I can kill it.
Yeah, I could try to bind it.
Yeah, for sure. Do we have 3 doctors in this party? Did I accidentally give us just a party of 3 doctors?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Solid. Go team doctors. The Midnight Doctor
Technically
shows up.
necromancer, but also learning to heal. So
Mal shows up. He's like, "All right, guys, let's go. Unionize."
Wait, is Mal gonna try to put himself as union leader? What the hell?
Of course. He has
Oh, no.
connections to Big Pharma.
I don't need him to be my union rep.
I just feel like, you're just a little short-sighted is all. Okay, I'm gonna put the, this door was supposed to be the one that you're leaving out, but we'll say that is the one that you came in. And you see the lippy crab's claws just, like, coming, like, through the door as it's trying to get to you guys.
I guess I'll bind it so everyone else can focus on ending its life.
Absolutely. Give me that 20-sider.
Oh,
That was aggressive.
that was
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
rude.
It was on a 17 for so long too.
It was.
All right. So what does your binding it look like? If everything had gone correctly, like what does it look like that you're doing?
You know when you're like strapping something to like the top of a car and it's holding it down by its sides and kind of just overlapping?
Okay. Just doing like a bunch of like weaving in and out of its legs and stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Like getting that one claw like really down. It is going to very casually. Like-
got category up.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Absolutely. It's gonna very casually reach out with one of its like its little pincing one, like the one that you weren't looking at, and it is going to try to like. It was gonna try to snip your ankle completely off. Like your foot was just gonna be in the celestial sea. But at the last minute, how do you dodge that?
You said it's the one that I'm not on the side on, right?
Right. It's just like it's just snuck in one of its little teeny asshole claws. I don't trust crayfish, by the way, in case anybody's wondering.
They are tasty, though.
Yeah, kind of. Oh, what if I like go under it? So like it's has multiple legs, it kind of goes through one of the other legs and kind of gets stuck.
Absolutely. Love it. Just slide in underneath and just like do. Alright. So Melinoë had a plan to put it to sleep, but Charity had a plan to just straight up heart kill it. They have hearts in the literal meaning of a heart. They do not have hearts in the figurative meaning of a heart. They do not care about you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I hate to tell you guys, the Lippies don't actually love you.
I never would have guessed.
I guess I'll have the eternal sleep as the final safety net if the heart kill does not work.
Yeah.
And if neither of those work, everyone get off the ground because I can try electrocuting it.
Yep.
Okay. I was making a note for myself there. So yeah, Charity will, once it's bound, quickly slip in and try to lay a hand somewhere where she can't get bit.
Oh, when it's trying. It's trying. It's like its tongue is like. You guys ever see Howard the Duck, the movie, where the guy pulls out the cigarette lighter of the car's cigarette lighter with his tongue? Like, it looks like that, but with spikes all over it.
Yummy.
Yeah, doing a bit of bobbing and weaving and trying to lay a hand on it and sensing where the heart is to make it stop.
Absolutely. And the more you move around, the more it's just drooling all over the place.
Whew, okay.
Ooh.
Ooh,
All right.
that was scary.
It looked like it was about to be a 2. I was
Again,
very
yes.
frightened for you.
I get the feeling that like someone like that was programming how the dice roll and roll 20 was just like, you know what? I'm gonna add a fact that it just holds on to the number too long.
Yeah.
And yeah, like you see it like its tongue just goes limp as the light goes out of its eyes as it collapses in the door.
Charity's eyes flash brighter green for a moment. That's enough of that.
And then it goes still, I guess.
It is done dead. Multiple sea lice are going up to it, like rolling their little balls up to it, like poking at its shell.
I don't think we should leave the body here.
That's definitely a thing we need to take with us.
It could corrupt it more. I know I rolled like a technically 1 now, but looking at the I have a question about the magic, the corrupting magic. I see it in the water, right? Is it just a constant flow of it?
It's not a lot. It's like an oil spill.
Yeah.
That has gone really far. You know how you can find like the weird chunks of oil, not chunk of oil, but
Yeah.
okay,
Like
you guys
these
get
little
what I'm
globules.
saying? Yeah, like a little globular, like way away from where the oil spill was, but carried on currents or on the animals that want to get away from the main thing. That is what you're seeing down here.
Okay.
But it doesn't seem awesome. And also, the sea lice are trying to get away from it as hard as they can. They do not like it. Like, they want to poke it.
Manipulate it? Like, separate it out?
I will let you make that roll. I really will.
Did I say it would be like
I'm gonna
an
make you roll
experimental thing that they would try?
It'd be 2d20, and you got to take the lower.
Charity looks around at everybody and goes, "I'm going to try something before we leave. But you might want to back away."
Are we leaving yet? We still have further to
well, okay, true, but just give me a little bit of space here for just a moment.
Kay is
and they also kind of
get so far away.
They also kind of back up a little bit too, just to add more space. and they're just gonna focus on like one little kind of like spot in the water where there's like a small amount, and just see if they can separate it out. An 11 and a 20. So
the 20 stands. 20 stands.
Okay.
We whenever I say you take the higher or the lower, like I always say we take the higher when you roll 2. If somebody gets a 1, we take that 1. If you roll a 20 on that, we're taking that 20.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck yeah. This is a liquid version of a spell. It is a corruption spell meant to, like, you can tell that somebody cast this eons ago. And it's not from this side. It shares no qualities with the Celestial Sea or Alkali, but it does remind you of the Sickened Sea.
Yeah.
Also,
so it's kind of like a gas tank was leaking, and it just gradually spread out and got like the groundwater, basically, kind of like, and spread from there.
Exactly that. Like,
Kay is only partially responsible. This happened before Kay.
Yeah, Kay is not the cause of this spell. Kay is responsible for it getting out further. Like, there was a spell in place holding this corruption back. That spell is weaker now. Significantly weaker now. It shares, you're gonna want to study Tirloa, for the record, Charity.
Okay.
We're gonna want to point your magic research at Tirloa, and I'm just saying that you don't know that right now. Like, you wouldn't know that immediately.
Yeah.
But your research should lean that direction. And also, you managed to get all of this up. You can basically water bend all of it into jars if you want to.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't expecting Charity to be able to get all of it, clear this place up right instantly, but just to try and see if it might be possible. And then from there, develop a method. Develop a method for the future to help clean this away.
I mean, absolutely. If you want to carry that 20 into the RP channel,
yes,
then we'll carry that 20 that way. That is what you're doing.
Okay.
And you are vastly successful at it.
Okay, so figuring out how to clear the corrupting magic that's leaking out away from everything else was going to be where their research is going to start going.
Beautiful. I love it. All right, guys, let's get into the next one before we run out of time.
Oh, yeah.
Zoom.
All right. as you approach the next room, like this room over here is not full of water, but it is ancient and decrepit, and sitting in the center of it is a giant golem that seems like it. You do see it trying to slowly move, but like every time it gets to the point, it like hitches and then goes back, like almost like a music box that just can't. The gears can't turn all the way, so it gets to a point and then stops and goes back. And this room is full. Is like, if you whisper, everybody in this room hears you. Like the acoustics are amazing.
Is it a guardian?
It doesn't appear to be holding any weapons.
Is it like protect? Does it appear to be protecting anything?
I'm looking at the picture, so it looks like there's like keyboards all around, like basically like a giant ass organ.
Does it play? Is this a pianist?
I was thinking of an organist.
My goodness.
Because I think Alan said that it's trying to move and then it hitches, like, because I guess it's so degraded.
Mm-hmm.
We can't. Okay, yeah.
Oh, you can't what now?
I thought we couldn't hear you for a second. It's like, no, I heard your voice. I'm like, okay, cool.
Oh no. I was thought Kay was just asking rhetorical questions and not actually looking for answers for those. So I just let them hang.
Behind, are those gears?
Those do appear to be gears.
Okay, is it obvious that it's connected to the gears?
Oh yeah. The whole room, like you can, when it tries to move, I think those gears move. They reach a point and then stop and go back.
Can Ivo take a look at the gears?
Absolutely.
You say there's a mouse in the manifold?
Just a lippy got in here hundreds of years ago. That would be ridiculous. You guys
Right.
brought lippies here.
I got enough AP for another one. And then I'm out AP, but hey.
All right. If you guys all would like to look around the room, tell me what you're looking at and roll 20-siders for me. Like if Kay is looking at, is this a guardian? Is it a pianist and stuff? Like, go ahead and roll, and I will tell you what those hands do.
Yeah, Charity is looking at, like, watching the movement and trying to see, like, where exactly the gears get stuck before it resets back.
Could I assist Charity with that? Because that was also my plan, so they can roll for advantage.
Yeah. You guys can both roll, and we'll take the higher. Yeah.
Okay.
So Charity rolled a 9, so
I'm raising
Melinoë can roll. Oh yeah, raising it to success, absolutely. That was aggressive, but okay. I don't know why. Like, I wish I could tell it to always just like I wish I had a slider to set it at max aggression, because I would every time. And Ivo, you want to roll to check out these gears? 13.
Oh.
Don't worry,
Okay.
13's not scary for Ivo.
Well, I was confused because I pulled it.
I saw it, right? It said 13, and then it went away, then it rolled again and said 13 again. Alright. So, we'll go from the highest success to, no, actually, we'll go in this order. Cossack, sorry. Hey, you made it a success. You were studying the machine, like the golem itself. It has very dexterous hands. Like, it looks like it was meant to sit on it, on its knees. And its legs are like mostly for decoration. It doesn't have anything from calves down. Like, it doesn't have feet. But it could reach all of these keyboards and all of these instruments all around it. And it does appear that it was designed to play music. As of right now, you guys can hear that drum beat in here, but it's mostly, it feels like it's coming from like a metronome situation. It doesn't look like it started trying to move again until recently.
Does it appear to be magical?
It appears to be technological. Magical to a point. It seems like it might for you because you would know. It appears that it facilitates magic, but it itself is clockwork. And for Ivo, what are you looking for when you look at the gears?
To see if one of them isn't in there correctly so it can't keep turning.
You see a lot of corrosion. Some of these parts are gonna have to come out, but eventually, maybe not right now, like they'll probably, like, that one looks like it will still turn, even though eventually it's gonna fall apart, but that's not a today problem. But then as you look through it, you see bones of a small figure stuck in the gears. It appears to have by small I mean like about humanoid size, about maybe your size. There's a robe with gears on it and wrenches on the robe, and like clutched in the hand of them is a wrench that looks like, imagine if a crucifix was a wrench. Not that like it looks like a cross, but that it looks like it is held with the same level of reverence as a crucifix would be. And a small journal. But the journal is like well worn. You might be able to get a couple of words out of it, but you could read it.
Yeah, I want to try reading it.
And this is the life and time of the Necromancer Flynn. Not Flynn. Flint. Sorry, Flynn. The Necromancer Flint. It's just like his last entry was, I found it. I found the musical orb. One of them. If we get this all put together, it's just like this. If I can learn how this works, it just seems to have stopped turning at some point. But I think I can figure out that problem. There's nothing that Flint can't solve. No hole too tight for me to squeeze myself into. It's just like, and he, like, very keenly aware that this might cost him his life. It says, if I don't return, like what's a good name for like a long lost love of this person who died forever ago?
I mean, we can make a Mother 3 reference and make a Hinala.
Hinala?
Yeah.
All right. Tell Hinala I love her. He's just like, I'm sorry. It's before it says, finally got the doors open. And it's just like, it might cause a little water damage down the road. But, you know, anything for science. And then, yeah, this guy is jammed in the gears, and you see what he was reaching for was just a small brass orb that somehow just fell out of place. But you now realize the danger. You pull that thing, you're gonna get squeezed if you can't get it, like, from a distance. And Melinoë, and before you decide to do that, Melinoë and Charity, what were you gonna do? What were you studying?
Charity is watching just like the movement, trying to catch like where it's catching at, and then returning. They're not an engineer by any stretch of the imagination, but they're like just trying to get a general idea of what's going on, what's keeping it from if there's like anything they can note right off the bat.
It looks like it's, you can tell I don't know how either one of you can tell. Melinoë probably can tell from her time spent on like
Their own robot body.
showmanship. Showmanship is one thing. You can tell that this thing, its like limbs are made for flourishes. This thing doesn't just play music, but it plays that ridiculously. Like almost like watching a conductor that's really, really into it waving the baton around, like waving his wand. Like that's how this thing plays this instrument with its whole body. Like it gets completely into it. Like you can watch and see all of the hinges are like double hinged so that like the arms can move backwards and forwards.
Is this alive, or are they just a robot? I feel like that's an important thing to know.
This is clockwork. It is an automaton, but it does not have a soul, and there is no spirit currently imbibing it, you know?
We know someone that's learning about necromancy.
I mean, you also got somebody that can get into robots or can get into inanimate objects.
Yep.
Hey.
Kind of don't want to use that power unless we're like unless to jumpstart it once we know that it'd be able to move without breaking. Though, I'm not gonna lie, I don't want to break it.
I think this will. I believe this will take some time to look over with engineers who
Absolutely.
understand mechanical gears and whatnot. Also going back to they talked about like the song was about like travel, and you said that this was like there was like a road outside this building.
Yep.
Okay.
Like, yeah, outside it doesn't seem like the best and only way you can describe the path, what is outside is a road.
Is it just me, or did outside of this building did it look like there was like a road? And they mentioned that there would be the song enabled travel, instantaneous travel. Do you think
True.
that, and with all these instruments here, do you think perhaps this adds some kind of
For Alan, all those symbols on that road, are they like letters or were they like music notes or like
not music notes, and not, I don't think either really. I can't explain what they are until you guys get further.
I'm
Not
mostly
just in this
asking
game.
because hashtag eager eye and decipher, so I wasn't sure if it would be relevant.
No, there was nothing written down out there.
Okay.
Mostly just because they think it looks nice,
You know,
or they thought it looked nice.
in character, I'm gonna go. You know, it makes me wonder with the map that Charity showed us, and now seeing at this location this orb. Maybe all three of these orbs need to be functioning to have the road function.
would make sense? And if there's corrupting magic, we need to clear that away first.
Mm-hmm. And get this guy back up to working order.
Wasn't there something about there being 4 parts that were missing that needed to be recovered? Could it be referencing this?
Evo, did you find anything?
It's just like while this conversation is going on, Ivo, are you grabbing that orb that's back there?
No.
No. it's
Hell
just-
no.
I was just like, nope. Mm-mm.
She's like a little stupid, but not that stupid.
Can we find a way to safely do that before the chaos gremlins do it without us noticing?
I could possess the ball and force it to roll itself towards us, so it's easier to grab.
It's so wedged in there that you wouldn't be able to move if you were in it.
Oh no.
How heavy is it?
It's probably the size of a beach ball, but like, what if it was a solid beach ball? A beach ball of solid brass. No, not solid. My bad. Do you know the hand things? The things that you spin around in your hand that jingle?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Like,
yeah.
they're those, basically those, but brass. So it's not solid, but it's still pretty heavy.
So does like the gear try to move and it catches on this ball, or is it just like it ain't moving?
Other gears move to the point where this one would have to move, and this one can't move because of the ball.
Okay, I'm gonna start thinking with my dumb brain going, I mean, I could possess some of the gears to try to see if I can open it up enough that the ball could be grabbed, but I don't want to risk anyone's hands. I don't even know if that would work.
Have you told us about it? I guess.
Oh,
'Cause-
sorry.
Oh yeah, I bring the book over to everyone, be like, hey guys, I think we need to get this ball.
I could attempt to use the stretch ability, which allows you to also shrink things. And see if we can get it out that way.
Does
You gotta physically
shrinking-
touch it, right? Yeah.
No,
No?
not stretch. Choose a nearby creature or object.
Okay.
You cause it to instantly enlarge or shrink.
Could we do that, and then I use my string to grab it since it's smaller now?
Yes.
All right.
And-
Yeah. Team up.
Alright, so that's a card, but I'll play it after I roll.
Nobody brought in the magnet.
I
Nope.
have a magnet.
Wait,
but
yeah, someone did.
I do have one, but is it magnetic?
Everything is magnetic.
Okay.
We
I mean,
we
if you
set
wanna
that
try
precedent
it-
forever ago.
Okay. How about this is like I give Evo the
We-
magnet here.
Can we aim what it's magnetizing, or is it just gonna grab everything?
That's the question. Also.
But you could stick
Yeah.
it to the ball. You could stick it to the ball, shrink the ball down, and give it a yank.
So shrink it first, then try it.
Sure.
Alright.
Charity's just gonna stand back a little bit.
That looked like it was a fucking 12.
Yeah.
Mhm,
It did.
mhm,
It looks
we
like
got
it's a 12 on my screen.
It looks like a 12 for me, but it's a 2. All right, that's
Sure is.
don't worry
I
about
think the
that yet.
program's
Don't
wrong.
worry about it yet. Ivo still has to pull roll to pull it out, so we don't know how this went, if this went wrong yet, because it's a group activity. We take the highest.
Why did
Huh.
Oh,
Okay. Mhm, All right. All right. Okay. Okay.
my dice
Dang it,
aren't
I don't
rolling?
have
They're kind of
anything.
just falling.
Your dice are rolling so weird. Like it's. I'm seeing it happen too, and it's only you.
So
mhm.
that's a fail. Do we want to raise it to a mixed success?
good news is Charity can heal now, so like you're good.
Do we want to raise it to a mixed success? It's not my roll that was a 5.
Like it's up to you guys. I've got story for whether you fail or you win. If you guys want the win story, absolutely.
Yeah, I kind of want to see what happens.
Okay,
wanna
I guess
the
we
ball.
failing.
So as you go to like yank it out, you guys do see like it got smaller, and as it started to shrink, you just couldn't get it as small as you wanted to, Kay. And or like it started to move too fast, and Ivo starts yanking because like both of you wrong. Many gears come out with it as it just explodes out at you guys, and like the whole floor is now covered in gears, and just like the place starts like creaking.
Charity just
And-
throws her hands up. I didn't do it.
As like everybody outside, this might be too real for some billionaires out there. Hey, you know what happens when pressure outside of a submarine starts happening?
Oh no.
Oh
That's
no!
like a millisecond.
Hashtag oh shit gate.
Fucking run.
Ball.
I am actually. Are we? Guys, I can teleport us back to the ship if you are
Okay.
all ready to go. Let's go.
All right. And I'm gonna say Charity managed to contain some of that corrupted magic, like very carefully securing those really in a hurry in their bag.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna use
Yeah.
gate as soon as everyone's ready to go.
Somebody said question. I think it was.
But did the ball
Emma?
come out?
The ball came out. You've got it. Big old beach ball.
keep it-
Big old brass beach ball. That, let me tell you, if you had a sea louse right now, it would love that thing.
Can I grab the robe that was on the skeleton that was jammed in there? Just,
Oh, yeah,
just
you
a
guys can
chunk of
grab-
it. Yeah.
Grab Flint's body, just grabbed.
Just need the rope. That's it.
I've
Should I get the ball or the wrench? Like his fancy
you
crucifix
can have both.
wrench. Oh, okay, I'll get both.
Yeah, you can get both of those in time. You're getting teleported out. The captain does appear to have given everybody a secret mission, a special mission. The captain
wanna
wants somebody to
run.
grab one of those louse.
I'll grab it.
Wait, are they like the size of hippos? I thought.
One of them's the size of a Great Dane.
Oh,
Problem
okay.
with that is my teleport is party only. So if we are getting the louse, we have to.
I can run and
Okay.
grab it. I can grab and run it. Like run and get it. It's
Okay, we're
fine.
being told to recruit the louse.
I'm gonna grab one of the smaller brass gears and just go booking it.
If we're not teleporting, I guess we're just running.
Well, no, you
Yeah.
guys can teleport. It's fine. I'm the one who doesn't have I'm not a living person. It's fine.
Yeah, but we don't know. The pressure just got real bad outside. It might crush your entire skeleton.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine. No worries.
I don't know.
Nope.
I'm gonna cast Calcify on myself. All right, let's go.
Jesus Christ.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, look.
If you're teleporting these you three out of here,
Uh-huh.
give me that 20-sider. Melinoë, give me 2 20-siders and take the highest, because Captain's Orders gives you a bonus.
So 2 20-siders, 2d20.
Whew,
Yep.
okay.
You three just like zap right out of here.
Crackle.
Those dice are taking forever. But
There we
17
go.
gets it done just fine. How do you get, just real quick, Melinoë, what do you do that gets these guys like happy, like chasing you? Because the whole place is going a little wild for them, like for everybody.
Yeah.
What does Melinoë do to get these guys to follow her?
I guess I've like grabbed a couple of like good like dinner plate size like gears and start kind of like lightly clanging them together. I'm like, come here, it's okay. Come on, follow me. Look at this. Isn't it tasty?
It's like, oh shit, that is tasty.
Let's go,
Get her, boys!
And I'm just basically gonna like, as they get closer, throw them out like a frisbee so they go out before me.
It's really bad that we're putting them in that water.
I mean,
They're gonna be elephant sized by the time we get them on the sub.
I mean, they've already been exposed to the water here. And they've already been down here for a while, so maybe they're just, this is how they've grown.
I think these ones are gonna like basically stay this big for right now. And like 2 hippopotamus-sized sea lice that will, if they lose these brass balls, they will eat the sub. I'm just gonna give you guys that full warning.
The captain wanted them!
And the lippy crab corpse.
Oh yeah.
Can I see the entrance? Because I have a question. Does it look like it's collapsing inward?
Yeah, oh, sure does.
Oh god,
The whole
it's the
thing is about to implode.
Okay, so question, was that roll to recruit the louse or or to me getting out in time? That is a legitimate
Yes.
question we need to ask. Okay. Okay, no further rolls. I see how it is.
So we've basically destroyed this entire thing.
I mean, it's gonna need some repairs. But you know what needs to be repaired now?
Everything?
Yeah, kind of.
So, is the whole thing collapsing or are the doors collapsing?
The whole it's gonna smash in, but I don't think it's gonna collapse completely. Like, we're gonna be able to get in, but it's gonna be a squeeze. I'm thinking like it's gonna look like a big hand came and just squeezed it from the sides, almost like when you squeeze a soda can.
Yeah, crush a can. Okay.
Is it gonna be
Yeah.
full of water?
It's gonna be full of water.
Nice.
Like, it's like, but maybe somebody outside knows how to fix it. Maybe somebody from a particular city that keeps track of all of this kind of knowledge. Maybe
Yeah.
we have a reason to go to Dorian now.
Hey! I would like to go to Dorian.
Charity's
So
just like
would
sitting there
Rennick.
like,
So
I don't
would
want to
Rennick
write this
indeed.
report.
This guy shows up, so would I.
Oh god.
Who is that?
If the whale didn't take so long, that's who that was.
Oh.
But don't worry, I like the whale better.
The whale was really good.
Yeah.
So, we're back on the ship. Something is imploding this thing. Success?
Success!
Success! As I am now, I guess, amassing a sea louse army.
Mm-hmm. We got 3 sea louse, and then we got
A bunch of small ones in a container.
a bunch of small ones.
Oh no, what's gonna happen when they see each other?
It's like, oh shit, we can get big. Ivo
You're
has
like, oh my
a...
god, same hat!
Ivo's got some stuff from a Necromancer corpse. That's the second time we've seen a Necromancer crammed into a very, very small place and died. I think maybe they should stop doing that.
Yeah, hey, Flynn, if you hear this later on, because I don't think you're here in chat right now, stop climbing into holes of things and trying to, like, die from that, please.
But no, like, as a mission to figure out things about magic, I still consider this quite a success. Like, we know that the corruption is spreading to a certain degree from Tirloa. We know that plants grow based on like being sung to in Haven and maybe around the Celestial Sea completely. We're unsure. We know that medicine can be made from convincing spirits to get into edible things and then consuming them.
It's addictive.
That part I might not have mentioned. I don't think Malpractice is particularly keen on mentioning the fact that his drugs are massively dangerous to consume.
The first one's always free.
I'm just gonna play my magnet card, so we know it was used.
Oh right.
The magnet was used. We know that these things are magnetic.
Well, the
I think this
magnet
actually
magnetizes even silver, so I'm sure.
Yeah, it's a powerful magnet. The powerful part of that. But no, this sets up a really good game for like the engineers to fix this thing.
Hell yeah.
Can I like
Go ahead.
give the ball and the wrench to the engineers?
Oh, for sure, absolutely, they would love that. Get their hands on that.
I have a question for Kay.
Hmm?
How much are they glaring at me about the sea lice?
At least they're no longer in there, I guess, but now we have to deal with them?
Listen, if we set up a permanent base for research, they'll live there. They'll live a happy life out there. It'll be fine.
Alternatively, how much are y'all glaring at Kay for accidentally causing magical horror leakage from the waste?
Look at Kay. It happens to everyone. Don't worry about it.
Honestly, Cherry's just like, this is kind of just par for the course. Like,
welcome to the club. Either we have A, done it, or been a product of it. It's okay.
Not Ivo. Ivo most of the time does everything right.
You really gotta... We really gotta go fix that.
Alright, yeah,
I guess her saying is, it could have gone worse.
It could have been completely destroyed.
I fully believe you guys saved that whale.
We sure did.
we did.
That whale was really cool, and I want to learn more about it.
Same.
Right. I really liked this game, everyone. Yeah, cool. Saved some cool lice. Made friends with a drug-dealing doctor. Like, made friends with Phoebe.
Maybe predicted a fluffer invasion.
Yeah, there's apparently a endemic situation of like dandelions attacking the city of Haven, but
I'm invasive species.
Don't
That's
worry,
like
we're
par
gonna
for
be
the course.
trading paint buckets with them.
That's right, and they want spray paint. Turns out. All right, I'm gonna do a real quick recap of this. Guys, support the Fluffer Uprising. All right, so we came to the Celestial Sea to do some celestial studying. It went, yes. Things that we learned. Kay learned that the city of Haven doesn't really hold on to their history very well, and are not particular fans of dredging up the past. And we know that the city of Dorian, one of the cities on the Celestial Sea, is a huge fan of keeping like records of the past. We learned that Haven, their version of magic, is just singing and keeping to a beat, and they can in their plant life is influenced, their healing is influenced this way, and just like people live generally happier lives if they can keep on beat. Ivo learned that doctors be doctoring. The Midnight Doctor, or is also malpractice. Still slightly obsessed with the Silver Stallion, Vorce's alter ego. And he has shown that you can trick, convince spirits into medicine, and they will heal you or do some kind of healing effect. There's a Phoenix-esque spirit out there that can be used to heal somebody fully, and there is a Serpent-esque spirit out there that can turn somebody back into what they once were. Melinoë made friends with Phoebe, formerly of the Beef Co., formerly of the Cottage Pie Company. They moved out, but he did sell Melinoë some delightful sea lice and plants, or seeds for plants. Then we went out to the Celestial Sea. We learned that we're bad at inventing an underwater microphone, but really good at inventing an underwater speaker, which convinced the whale that we were friends. You guys got slightly bumped about by a giant whale that was currently being has very easily dealt with the lippy crabs and then sewed up the whale, and it was...
You're cutting out. No.
No.
I think Alan's computer might be shitting the bed, so I think we're gonna have to cut the recap short and call it a day. I was hearing him say like entire full sentences, and then hear those sentences in Discord, and now like he was talking and we're not getting anything at all. So they happen. So we're gonna wrap up here. Thank you all so much for playing. You did amazing. I laughed so hard. Y'all were fucking fantastic. So
I do have to wonder if us destroying that has screwed with the music that everyone is dancing to, or if that was
Guess we're
already
gonna have to
broken in the
find out.
first place. Whoops.
Oh, okay, we get to find that out. Charity gets to write the report up to Peanut and be like, I didn't do it.
It really wasn't me. Alright, so we're gonna heck off. We will see y'all on Thursday for our very special musical episode starring our main character energy players for the Celestial Sea arc, so Ceylon, Lore, Pollux and Castor, and Rennick, as well as Ibring. It should be something really neat. I don't know, it's an experiment. We're gonna try it out and see how it goes. But so we'll see y'all on Thursday. Me fucking too, actually. It's so dumb, but I'm like hyped for it. Alright, so we're hecking off and we'll see y'all Thursday. Bye forever.
Bye forever.
Meh.
Bye. Bye.
In the celestial sea where stars align, Lockstitch will go where wonder lies. Its specialist crew a beacon of light will work to unravel secrets entwined. Lore with her care and lust for life, turning the cogs in her curious mind. Scales that tell stories of times long past. Deep in the echo, her interest is cast. Starborne Melody echoes in the deep. An ancient history, now our secrets to keep. Ceylon, a siren with feathers adorned, seeks to maintain her graceful form. A voice that weaves tales across the sky, relaying the dreams that never die. Rennick, the brain with numbers and might, 4 arms, 4 eyes in the cosmic night. Stoic and with numerical grace, in Lockstitch's crew he has found his place. Starborne Melody echoes in the deep. An ancient history, now our secrets to keep. Pollux and Castor, the skillful pair, always the team with starry hair, with a bond so strong in the vast expanse, unveiling the secrets in cosmic dance. Starborne Melody echoes in the deep. An ancient history, now our secrets to keep. Starborne Melody echoes in the deep. An age-old mystery, and Lockstitch holds the key.